Hello and welcome everybody to British Uprising Part 1. I'm Tony Giles, standing outside the prestigious York Hall in Bethnal Green.
Hello everyone, and my name is Nick London. Now I'll tell you one thing, York Hall has seen many great fights, but nothing like these people are going to see tonight.
It looks like the limousine that's just pulled up is carrying none other than the old school, the twisted genius Dean Ayers, Fleisch Barker and Monkey Boy Mark Sloan.
Hey, you can't call him Monkey Boy Mark Sloan. He can out-wrestle any of you, he can out-wrestle any of your family, and he can out-wrestle any of your friends.
That may well be true, Nick, but he still looks like a monkey. As the old school make their way through the crowd outside York Hall, it looks as though they may be being accosted by a couple of fans.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, when they do fight their way through this crowd of idiocy, they're going to get to the ring and they're going to do what they need to do, and that's get the FWA Heavyweight Championship back around the waist of Fleisch Barker.
First off, Nick, let's concentrate on getting them in the building. As security, doing their rigorous checks, making sure no riff-raff comes into the building.
Your new champion right here tonight, FWA British Champion, mark my words.
Hello everybody and welcome to FWA's British Uprising Part 1. I'll be your host for this evening, Tony Giles, alongside none other than Nick London.
That's me, and now we see referee Steve Linsky coming down to ringside. And if Steve Linsky's coming down, that can mean that only one person is about to follow.
The lovely Jane Charles, the FWA ring announcer, about to kick things off for FWA British Uprising.
In Part 1 you're going to see Lynn versus the anarchist Doug Williams in the main event. However, today we're going to kick off with a three-way dance. It's going to be Xavier, Ghosh and James Tighe fighting for an All England Championship title shot.
This
As we see the first combatant come down to the ring, James Tighe, Wow Magazine's Rookie of the Year. This man, to me, looks like a young Lance Storm. He has it all. He's got the charisma, he's got the moves. This man could walk out of here tonight easily the #1 contender for the FWA All England title.
James Tighe has been on a hell of a runaway at the moment after defeating his own teacher, Mark Sloan, not too long ago at No Surprises 4 in the Portsmouth Pyramid Centre.
And our next contender.
Coming down to the ring now, one of the opponents, Ghosh, one of the youngest members of the FWA roster. He may be young, but he's got the talent to prove that he belongs in that ring. Again, someone else that could easily walk out of here tonight, the #1 contender for the All England title.
Tony, this is my pick to win this match. Xavier. Many consider him almost the uncrowned All England champion. He had a massive feud not too long ago against Mark Sloan, who then was the All England champion. However, he couldn't quite get the job done. Now Jack is only 2 matches away from that championship. But first, he's got to get through James, and he's got to get through Raj, and he's got to become the #1 contender to the All England championship.
It's quite true, Nick. Xavier is definitely one of the people's favourites.
Now all 3 men exchanging pleasantries, and soon they're going to have to get this match underway and lock up. But Tony, how does a 3-way lock-up work?
To be perfectly honest, Nick, I couldn't tell you, but I think we're about to find out. The crowd behind all 3 of these guys, this should be a classic.
All 3 men now testing the waters. No look up there.
I think the key in a 3-way dance is to maybe single out one man and go for that. It looks as if James Tighe may be going for Xavier here.
However, he's got his eye on Raj, and that's why he's got his eye on him.
It's quite plain to see that all 3 men are very wary of what's going on around them, and neither one is going to make a silly mistake and let that #1 contendership slip away.
Well, the entire crowd is behind all 3 men on an opposite pipe, but now Raj has got the hammerlock on him, and then a headlock, and now James Tighe with a snapmare.
And Raj goes in with a headlock. Xavier onto his feet, with a wristlock on James Tighe. James must be in excruciating pain right about now as Xavier, he moves into the hammerlock and goes forward and takes Raj's head.
And now Xavier with a headlock, and it's James Tighe with the wristlock, and now Jack seems to be floating over. He singled out James's arm, and there it is, an overhead keylock. Now Raj with a waistlock.
He's ducking position. It looks like he may be going for some sort of German suplex as James Tighe goes behind, goes for the school where Raj goes, not letting hold of Xavier.
And now Raj has a pinfall on Jack. However, now James has the pinfall on Raj. It's nearly a 3 count.
All 3 men are down. All 3 men are up.
Unbelievable. All 3 men had each other scouted so well, they were able to predict the other's moves. That was a fantastic display of 3-way technical wrestling.
You could hear from the crowd the reaction they got. This is where wrestling is heading. As James Tighe rolls back, takes Jack's leg. Jack must be unbelievable. He's got his arm and his leg in a twist.
Jack might want to make a wish at this point, and Jack's got to find a way out of this, and he's going for it. However, Jack missed the enziguri. Now James with an Achilles lock.
As Raj goes, bounces off the rope and takes the head of Xavier. Jack is in double trouble right now, but Raj, realising there's a head right there, goes for Xavier as well. Raj, the dominant force, at the moment.
What a lovely pair of headlocks. And now Raj, the wild card of this match. However, no! James now reapplies the Achilles lock and puts the pressure on Raj with that reverse chin lock.
James Tighe proving he's no monkey's boy. He knows where he's at. He knows what he's going for. As Raj goes to the roll through, who's he going for here? Xavier is down. Raj goes with the roll through neck snap on James Tighe.
Well, Raj nearly snapped the neck right off James Tighe there, and now we're at this kind of dead end. All three men are back in a standing position, and they've got to re-lock up.
Raj Ghosh is only 17 years old. Can you imagine what it would feel like for him to go home this evening, Nick, and say, I'm the #1 contender for the All England title?
Well, it depends how often he's been thrown around. It could be quite so.
With an Inzaguri to the outside, Xavier sends James Tighe crashing down.
James trying to speed up the proceedings, and he paid for it. And now it's Jack and Raja. Jack with an arm drag on Raj. And Raj now with the arm drag on Jack. Those are so powerful, they're ripping the shoulders almost.
Jack and Raj, oh my God, it looks like he's going for a reverse DDT. As James takes the knees away, Jack gets his move, all three men are down.
Jack almost looked like he was going for the Xavier. And now James, however, James clipped the knee of Jack, and Jack was forced to drop Raj. James now going over Raj and picks him up, and he sends him to the corner.
It looks like Raj is going for a spinning head scissors, and James throws him over. Oh my God! A DDT, a spinning DDT from Raj Ghosh as James Tighe takes Raj down. He goes for the pin.
That was a fantastic counter by James there. We're getting to the point now where Triple Threat saw three-way dances. They're becoming a bit of an art form now, and these three men are showing why they're on top of their game.
As James Tighe goes for some sort of double underhook, is it going to be a powerbomb? No, Raj floats over. Raj looks like he's going for the Russian leg sweep. As Xavier takes them both down. Xavier with the neck snap. Raj with the Russian leg sweep. Xavier almost with a 3 count. Raj managing to get the shoulder up there. All three men are down.
All three men are down indeed. That move that Jack executed took a lot out of all three men. But we'll see who gets first to their feet here.
Referee Steve Linsky putting in the count, making sure everything is above board. Xavier, the first man up, goes. Oh my God, what's this? A neck breaker. Raj nips up, takes Jack down. Jack takes James down. This is three-way madness.
Now, all three men are down, and it looks like Raj could have the advantage, but unfortunately he just couldn't capitalise. He couldn't get the cover. Raj could have gone home, but it just wasn't meant to be.
I'm sure if any one of these men were to roll over now and drape their arm on any opponent, they would get the 3 count as they slowly start making their way to their feet.
Who's going to be the first man up, Tony? And it's James!
James Tighe up in the corner. Xavier with the spear on James in the corner. He sees Raj. What's Raj going for? Raj is going for the tarantula on the ropes, a submission move as James Tighe drop kicks Jack, drop kicks Raj.
And I'll tell you one thing, both men spilled to the outside, and it looked like Jack cracked the back of his head on that wooden floor. And now you've got to wonder, is James going to go for the smaller man in Raj, or is James going to go for the... Oh, hang on, what's James doing now? I don't like the look of this.
Oh, did you see the way Xavier, he moved out of the way there. He moved out of the way, thought he'd done it. Unfortunately not. James Tighe with a picture-perfect Asai moonsault to the outside, full body weight onto Xavier.
That's very uncharacteristic of James when you consider that it's triple threat and that there's a title shot on the line. I'm not surprised he did it. And now Raja springboards through, springboard to the top, and a cross body.
Have you ever seen anything like that before? A drop kick through the rope, up in one motion onto the top rope, taking out both the other guys. Like I've said before, Raj Ghosh is my pick. Raj Ghosh, #1 contender.
Well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to stick with my pick of Jack Xavier. However, James and Raj are both looking mighty strong, and it's going to be mighty close.
To be honest, Nick, I wouldn't mind if any one of these 3 guys won the match tonight. They're all fantastic combatants as Raj goes for the pin on James.
Jack's showing himself to be hurt here. Seems to be hurting all over, and this is giving Raja a window, an opportunity to go one-on-one with James. This takes out that third element, and Raja might capitalise and get the win.
With a shocking forearm to James Tighe there as he backs him into the corner. A couple of blows to the gut. Xavier's back in the ring.
Jack now sending Raj to the corner, but Raj flips over, and James has caught him. He's going for the German suplex. However, they back body drop Jack Xavier. James just can't get the suplex, and Roger roll through.
He's got the pin. 1, 2. Jack Xavier rolls it over again. Oh, yeah, there's no way to call that, but by saying basically it was a kick to the backside.
I'll tell you one thing, Jack accidentally put the pin on the other man, but he kicked him in the keister. What's Jack got? Rolling release, X-Plex!
Have you ever seen the X-Plex anywhere else? FWA action.
And now, what's James got? Oh, here it is. James's formidable Titanic.
It looks like it's finisher heaven for all these three guys. They're going for it. It's all out. It's all on the line. James Tighe slowly to his feet. Picks up Jack Xavier. Doesn't go for the pin.
That's going to come back and haunt James later. But James sends Jack into the corner. Jack with a boot to the face. And now Jack's going for his devastating tornado DDT.
James Tighe counters the move. Oh, crushed on the top rope. But Ghosh is perched. Oh, a glancing blow on James Tighe, enough to send James into Jack. And once again, Jack Xavier is on the outside of the ring.
The wild card of this match, Ghosh, is now back in control. And he's setting James up. Is it a suplex?
Brainbuster on James Tighe. Ghosh, all he needs to do is get the arm over. I'm sure that's a 1, 2, 3 right there.
Raj dropped and James right on the back of his head, and he could have it right here.
Oh, at the last second, James Tighe knows what's on the line. He manages to deep down, dig up, pull the arm up, as Ghosh again goes with those devastating blows to the gut.
Roger again now, sending James to the ropes.
Oh,
and now Jack's just flipped in!
Did you see that? He could be a gymnast as he takes him into the ropes. Raj holds onto the ropes.
And now James now flips over. And oh my God! They get the 3!
It is the 3 count. James Tighe is the new #1 contender for the All England title.
That was an unbelievable match. James Tighe has defeated both Ghosh, and he has also defeated Jack Xavier, and he will go on to face whomever the All England champion will be. But the question now is, Tony, who's going to be the All England champion?
Will it be the South City thriller Hade Vansen, or will it be the mulleted one, the Zebra Kid?
I don't think you should be disrespecting the Zebra Kid, because he's going to eat Hade Vansen for breakfast. But all 3 men are receiving a standing ovation from this crowd, and I want to send a warning to all the guys in the back. You try and top that.
Look at the sportsmanship. James Tighe, he's won the match, but he knows he had 2 fantastic opponents. He offers the hand. All 3 men, hands are raised.
James Tighe now is going to go out and greet his fans. Congratulations to James Tighe, the new #1 contender to the All England Championship.
If he wasn't before, I'm sure he is now. James Tighe is going to go home tonight being a firm fan favourite.
Now, I've just been told that the new breed are in the back, and they've got a few words to say to their opponents tonight, the tag team champions, the Pitbulls.
Tell you what, Pitbulls, you see tonight, we've been training hard. We haven't been eating the pies like you have. We've been going down the gym every single day, getting ready for this match. And do you know what? I'll tell you why. It's not because we are that good, but we are. It's because we are the new breed. We are the future. But we've been lacking that gold around our waist. But instead, we don't want your burgers. We don't want your fitness Jenny Craig plan. All we want back is our belts. And tonight is our chance. We've been fighting our way up the ranks. Tonight, we get those belts back.
Simple, Pitbulls. You're going there tonight with us, you're coming out minus the belts.
I'm Nick London, and when I'm entertaining, I like to listen to the high-octane beats that are only supplied by FWA The Music, Volume 1, featuring such people as Jody, Fleisch, Doug Williams, and the show stealer Alex Shane. Go to www.frontierwrestling.com.
As as the show stealer Alex Shane makes his welcome return back to the FWA tonight in the York Hall in Bethnal Green. There are literally 1,000 people standing on their feet showing their appreciation for the show stealer.
Alex Shane, the show stealer, may be out with injury, but he doesn't want to disappoint his little show stealers. He doesn't want to disappoint his fan base, you know, all three of them.
I think you're being a bit unfair, Nick. It doesn't look like there's 3 people showing their appreciation to me.
Trust me, they're 3 people with guns to their backs. All these people don't love Alex Shane. They're just worshipping him in some bizarre ritual.
Alex Shane returning from injury, taken out by the old school assassin Cole Kramer. It looks as though Alex is back and he's got something on his mind.
Now guys, since my injury back in March, it's been almost 8 months since I've been on a show a size of this calibre and this magnitude. Of course that show was Revival 1 at the Crystal Palace Indoor Arena back in February. Changed since February. But you know, there are still a few things that remain the same. First of all, and I think you'll agree, the FWA still rocks!
I've got to agree with the show studio there 100%.
FWA do rule. They pay for my favourite habits.
And one more thing. Now guys, back when I got injured a long time ago, there was one more thing that still remained the same, and it was a bad thing. And I think you'll know what I'm talking about. It was a group of guys who decided they didn't like the direction of the FWA. They decided that they didn't like the way it was going, sports entertainment. They wanted to keep it giant haystacks and Big Daddy. So they tried to keep the young guys down by injuring them or holding them back. I think you know I'm talking about the old school.
As the fans are quite rightly chanting Alex Shane taken out by the old school, and what do the fans think of the old school? They think they suck.
Well, I sat on the bench when I was out injured, and I realised one thing. More than anything else in the FWA, the thing I want is to get rid of the old school once and for all. The way I see fit to do it is to make sure, right here tonight in Bethnal Green, Jody Fleisch leaves as the new FWA heavyweight champion! Make sure that happens, and Tighe, Mark Sloan and Flash Barker. There's 2 things you can do about it. That's nothing.
It looks as though the old school aren't happy with what Alex Shane was saying. It looks as though the old school may have something to say themselves regarding the show stealer.
Well, Alex Shane, he comes out here and he's spurring all this garbage out of every orifice that he has. And I'll tell you one thing, it's up to Dean Ayers and Flash Barker to come down to ringside and set the record straight. It wasn't the old school's fault that Alex Shane got injured. It was Alex Shane's fault that he got in the way of the old school.
Now, I think you'll find it was the old school's fault when Dean Ayers hired the old school assassin Cole Kramer to purposely take out and damage the neck of the show stealer Alex Shane.
Tony, I want to ask you something. Can you feel the tension that suddenly just raised between Flash Barker and Alex Shane? Flash Barker was brought in by Alex Shane, and it was Flash Barker who turned on Alex Shane to join the old school. And look at him now. He's the #1 contender to the heavyweight championship, and tonight he could very well win it off Jody Fleisch in the ladder match.
As always, Dean Ayers has a few kind words for the FWA fans.
If I suck, it's only because your mother taught me. Shut your mouth. I'm on the microphone, not you.
When Dean Ayers talks, you listen, because there's a man behind him by the name of Flash Barker.
It's a great shame that your neck isn't 100%, but you know, it's good to see that your memory is at least intact, because you're absolutely It was the old school that drove you headfirst into a steel chair. And if we're going to get a little bit more specific, it was me who put the chair in the ring.
Tighe has basically taken the responsibility.
This is what you're messing with, Alex Shane. We're the old school. We don't mess with the old school.
That's a bold statement from the twisted genius Tighe there. It appears Alex Shane has something to say.
There's one thing about you that I find kind of cool. I know it's funny to think about it, and I'm sure this audience is wondering what it is, and I'm sure you're wondering what it is. Well, Dean, I'm going to put you out of your misery. It's not the way your mum cuts your hair. It's not your CNA wardrobe. It's not your obvious love and dedication to your full-time job of junk food testing. And it's not even your advertising sponsorship deal with Shoe Express. The thing that I think is cool about you, and you're going to have to agree, is the old school music. It's kind of funky, isn't it? But you know what, Dean? When I think of the words cool and Tighe, it kind of goes together like David Beckham and high IQ. It just doesn't work, does it? So Dean, I've come up with something that I think you're really going to like, and I know these people will. Because I spoke to the music guy, and I said...
No, he's not talking about what I think he is he?
Every time I raise my hand, I want to hear the song that's going to make Tighe's life a misery. So it's just time for me to say, play that funky music, boy!
Tighe's Dream theme was one of the most popular theme songs on the TalkSport Talk Wrestling radio show. The only person that doesn't seem to really enjoy it is Tighe himself.
Well, do you blame him?
I think it's kind of catchy.
Well, I'll tell you what I think it is. It's kind of cheesy and rubbish.
I don't want to hear that music again. You, just like everyone else here in the FWA, you want to undermine my credibility. You want to undermine the old school's credibility. You want to make us all a laughing stock. This man is the former FWA champion, and if it wasn't for the office boys moving the goalposts, he'd still be the champion today. Mark Sloan, the longest reigning All England champion of all time. And let's not forget, Alex, the people who put you on the shelf. We're the old school. I told you before, you don't.
If Alex were wise, he ought to apologise to Tighe.
Dean, you're right. No, you are right. I do owe you an apology because, you know what, I do feel kind of bad. And guys, I'm not going to play that song anymore because, Dean, I want to give you a heartfelt apology. From the guys in the back, from the guys sitting over there.
I'm impressed, he's not as stupid as he looks. And, no, come on, stop playing this music, Mr. Soundsman. This is ridiculous. Don't you see the Fleisch is going to rip your chicken-like head off?
Fine. Okay, you want...
Tighe has obviously lost for words.
Shut up. You want to embarrass us? Fine. You want to make us a laughing stock? That's fine. Actions speak louder than words. Tonight, this man has a match, a ladder match, to get the belt he never lost back. And I'm telling you, and I'm telling Jody, Fleisch, and I'm telling each and every one of you retard inbreds out here at the Bethel in your hall that we will stop at nothing, and I mean nothing, to bring that belt back.
Alex Shane has upset the wrong man. You may as well give him a spade because he's digging himself a nice hole in the middle of the ring.
Your weight, son.
Tighe can't help that. He's horizontally challenged.
I sat on the bench, unable to wrestle. I didn't think about my revenge. Dean, if you didn't think I was going to get revenge, then it's obvious to me and each and every person in this room that you need a check-up from the neck up. Because I'm making a vow right now to get rid of the old school. You see, I'm going to take apart the old school brick by brick. Because by my side, I have a new school wrecking ball. A new school wrecking ball
Mahoney's got a chair. Alex Shane, you're gonna pay.
Oh my God, a devastating chair shot there from the specialist, Monkey Boy Mark Sloan, to the head of the show stealer Alex Shane.
Two things, don't call him Monkey. And secondly, Tony, you don't mess with the old school.
That may well be true after seeing that, Nick. Alex Shane laid out in the ring once again from a vicious chair shot, not being pole driven on it this time, but just smacked straight up the head by the specialist Mark Sloan. Alex Shane once again, he must be thinking, what have I got to do to get rid of the old school once and for all?
Alex Shane holding his neck. That was the neck that was injured by the old school, and now Mark Sloan coming out of the back with a steel chair and possibly re-injuring him. I hope this doesn't set what I'm talking about. I really do hope this set back Alex Shane, because if you ask me, he doesn't belong in the middle of an FWA ring.
Alex Shane is a fighter as well as an entertainer. He's up and he is not happy with the old school. As he races out the ring, up the rampway, it looks like revenge is on his mind.
Okay, brother, what we have here is a brand new Drew McDonald. A whole new Highlander from hell. A loose cannon. No more teenagers walking me to the ring like some pet dog. No more vixen leading me to the ring, trying to steal my glory. I am the man, and if you want to be the man, you've got to beat the man. And Brookside, you've been sticking your nose in my business everywhere I go. TWA shows, FWA shows, I don't care where they are. You are always in my face. Well, tonight, Brookside, I am going to rip your heart out and eat it while your stinking body is still squirming in the ring.
Hade Vansen, the South City Thriller. If James Tighe was last year's Rookie of the Year, this is my pick for Rookie of the Year next year. Hade Vansen has quite literally done it all since he's been in the FWA. No titles as yet, but I'm sure tonight could see him as the new All England champion.
The South City Thriller, Hade Vansen, will challenge the Zebra Kid for the All England Championship. And I'm sure this is a wonderful opportunity for the young man.
Hade Vansen has some of the fastest feet I've ever seen. FWA all over the world. Hade Vansen is a man to be reckoned with.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Zebra Kid. He may only be in his early 20s, but he's the All England champion. He hasn't been in the FWA long, but shortly after coming in, he managed to defeat the top contenders for that championship. And now, he's on top of the pile with the championship belts.
That's right, Nick. Zebra had his first match back in March, and in July of this year, managed to take away the All England title from Mark Sloan.
I'll tell you one thing, that was a hell of an accomplishment. And now, the Zebra Kid is getting a little bit of grief off the fans. But I want to point something out to you, Tony. Zebra Kid, he's a second-generation star. He's been in the business his whole life. Now, I respect Hade Vansen, but Hade Vansen is a martial artist. And if you ask me, my pick for the winner is going to be the Zebra Kid, because he knows how to dismantle these young, cocky kids, and he knows how to get the win off them.
Hade Vansen may be a martial artist, but something that some people may not know, Hade Vansen was actually trained by the show stealer Alex Shane, and there's another plus in his corner, Hade Vansen doesn't wear the mullet.
Don't you talk about the mullet in such a disrespectful tone, Tony. Don't make me show you the back of my hand.
The way I see it, Nick, you can show me anything you like. The man has an awful haircut.
But anyway, back to the match. You know what? Did you say that Hade Vansen was trained by Alex Shane?
I did indeed. Hade Vansen is definitely one to watch for.
That would explain the charisma and the attitude that he's showing at the moment. And it's a good attitude that may get him the win.
It's a fast-paced match to start with. Hade going for a crossbody and an awesome clothesline takedown on Zebra, and another. And a kick straight to the gut. Zebra's down as Hade nips up.
And Hade now takes it to the outside with a spinning side kick.
Can you believe that kick all the way up and over? Zebra doesn't know where he is.
And now Hade has the advantage. Now obviously Hade can't win the match on a count-out, and I'm sure he's not that stupid. So Hade is going to the outside.
Oh, what an awesome super kick, worthy of any of the
stars in this business. I'll tell you one thing, that was a hell of a good kick.
Ow! That was not beautiful, that was not pretty, but what it was effective. All of the weight straight there, Hade Vansen banging into the guardrail.
The Zebra Kid, when he's doing his suicide dives, he may lack the grace of a Jonny Storm and a Jody Fleisch, but quite frankly, he's so solid. I don't think any man in the All England division can beat him.
As he sends Hade straight into the barrier and crashes through the barrier. Hade is in a whole world of hurt right now as Zebra Kid goes back in the ring, waiting for referee Andrew Coyne to count out Hade Vansen. But what's this? Zebra up to the top rope. Bang! Straight down Hade Vansen through the guardrail once again.
Hade Vansen looks to be in trouble. It seems that the Zebra Kid is taking it to the young rookie. The Zebra Kid now throws Hade Vansen back into the ring, and he's taking back control. Picking up Hade Vansen. He's setting him up for what could be a powerbomb. And he hits it. Sit down powerbomb. And no, Zebra doesn't go for the free count, but instead, the Zebra Kid is going up top. Watch out, everyone. Zebra's crossing.
Can we see the patented picture-perfect elbow? Oh, and an amazing frog splash from the Zebra Kid. As Hade Vansen manages to get the arm up, a 2 count there. Zebra Kid thought it was 3.
Obviously, Zebra didn't want to go for the elbow too early, for if Hade moved out of the way, he could have smashed that elbow of his to a schmillion pieces.
A schmillion pieces is right, Nick. The fans are firmly behind Hade Vansen here. Hade Vansen a fan favourite. I'm pretty sure the Zebra Kid too would be a fan favourite if it weren't for their hair. But oh my God, a Hurricane Rana from the apron to the outside. Hade Vansen laid out on the wooden floor.
The Zebra Kid in his magic mullet just sent Hade Vansen crashing to the ground.
With a hard kick straight to the face. There's nothing pretty about it, but it hurts. It is effective. Hade Vansen is on Dream Street at the moment, out on his feet.
I'll tell you one thing, you talk about Zebra and his mullet, but I'll tell you one thing, look at Hade Vansen and that haircut of his. He looks like a mug, he looks like a ruffian. I wouldn't be surprised if he came from this end of town.
What are you trying to say, Nick, about the beautiful people of Bethnal Green?
Beautiful people of Bethnal Green. I'm not saying anything, except for they're all thieves and crooks.
The fans seem to be getting on Zebra Kid's case here, but what's Zebra up to? It looks like, oh my God,
top rope superplex, and Zebra hit it beautifully. He turned him ever so slightly in midway to drop him onto his thigh, and now he could be working on the legs of the South City Thriller.
Oh my God, no way to call that, but other than a leg drop straight to the inner thigh. Referee Andrew Coyne getting on Zebra's case there, making sure everything is above board. Zebra takes Hade into the corner, from pillar to post. Oh, and a devastating clothesline into the corner. Hade Vansen isn't faring too well just as yet, Nick.
Well, Hade Vansen, he's managed to get out of the way. He just knocked the stripes off the Zebra Kid with that kick.
Oh, a whisper in the wind from Hade Vansen takes it from one side of the ring to the other. Zebra's outside, Hade's got the momentum back. The fans are firmly behind him. What can we see from Mr. Vansen next?
Well, Vansen seems to have the momentum. Let's see what he can do with it.
A brilliant dive to the outside there, a somersault dive. He didn't get all of it, but he got enough. Zebra is down on his knees.
Both men are struggling to get to their feet. Hade Vansen up first, and now the Zebra Kid is at the mercy of Hade Vansen.
Referee Andrew Coyne needs to get on the case of these two wrestlers. The title cannot change outside the ring, only on the inside. It looks like the ref's gone out now to try and create some order. Some Ric Flair-like chops from Hade Vansen there onto the Zebra Kid.
The only man this is going to disadvantage is Hade Vansen. You cannot win the title on the outside, but the Zebra Kid can walk out of your call with it. And now, Hade Vansen's off the rope, and what's this?
Oh, a straight dive through the middle rope, but Zebra had the ring smarts to move out of the way. Hade Vansen once again laid out on the concrete.
And Zebra Kid did a U-turn into the ring to avoid it, but now he's right back on the outside, and he looks like he's going to hit Hade Vansen with something that looks nice and legal.
It was a leg drop from the apron onto a chair, using Hade Vansen's body as the cushion. Hade is down, the chair is bent. What is Zebra going for now?
There's a guillotine leg drop that nearly sliced the head of the South City Thriller neatly off his shoulders.
Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, the All England champion, the Zebra Kid, is a fighting champion. He will take it to anybody there is. As a wonderful suplex from the outside, inside on Hade Vansen, he manages to get the shoulder up. It's only a 2 count.
Now, even when Hade Vansen's on the ground, he's got the kicks to wind a man silly and to break them down. And we'll see if Zebra Kid managed to avoid the turnbuckle, but Hade Vansen
Up in the corner,
kick upside the
kick to the head. Zebra's down on the mat once again. Hade Vansen proving he is no sucker. He is willing to fight for this title, fight for what he believes in. I think a new All England champion is what we're going to see, with a drop kick through the ropes to the outside onto Zebra.
He might not be a sucker in your opinion, but in my opinion, he's not all that bright. And when it's my opinion, it's the only opinion.
Nick, are you watching the same match as me? Did you see the way he threw Zebra to the outside there?
I think I had something in my eye and missed.
Oh! Did you see that? From the top, one go to the outside, both men out for the count.
I saw it all right. Hade Vansen launches himself like a rocket at the Zebra Kid.
Both men struggling to their feet. Surprisingly enough, Zebra's up first. Maybe it took a bit more out of Hade. I'm not entirely sure. What's he going for? Surely he just powerbombed him onto the mats outside.
Hade Vansen cannot be in good shape right now, and now the Zebra Kid with a senton off the apron. My lord, Hade Vansen must be bleeding inside at this point. That was a couple of heavy moves on the outside, and I know those are some blue mats out there, but if you think it's soft, I'd like to see you give it a go, Tony.
I've totally got to agree with you there, Nick. Those blue mats aren't as soft as you think, and a picture-perfect missile dropkick straight to the top of the head of Hade Vansen. Referee Andrew Coyne checking to see if he wants to go on. Is it a 3? No, it's a 2. Hade shows the fighting spirit. He's not going out like that.
Referee Andrew Coyne making friends with the fans, but back to the match. The Zebra Kid trying to launch the South City Thriller, but Hade Vansen now with a waist lock.
And the Zebra Kid talking to, he's distracted, he's used the oldest trick in the book. Did you see the low blow on Hade Vansen there, Nick?
That's why I like Andrew Coyne. He's a gullible fool. But at the same time, I think the Zebra Kid was trying to point out to some East London ruffian that was in the crowd. You know what this London lot are like, Tony.
What are you trying to say, Nick? That was a fantastic implant DDT there. Hade Vansen cannot take any more blows to the head. Surely he'll be out for the count pretty soon, as the Zebra Kid looks like he's maybe going for a lion tamer. It's a Boston Crab. This is one of the most punishing moves in wrestling today.
It's putting all the pressure on the lower back, and the Zebra Kid has launched. Oh, and Zebra let the move go earlier. I don't know how wise that was from the veteran.
Zebra's obviously got an idea in his head what he wants to do. I think it's maybe to inflict some more punishment on the ribs, on the back. He's wearing Hade down.
I'll tell you what it is. He's on the biggest stage of the UK at the moment, and he wants to hit that elbow drop of his and to make an exclamation point on the man who is challenging him for his title that he's so proud of.
There was some extreme forearms there from Hade Vansen as he throws Zebra into the corner. A knee to the gut as Hade is setting up Zebra now for something special.
He seems to be setting up for that pretended running knee drop. Wham bam, Hade Vansen.
There you go, straight to the face, no two ways about it. That's gotta hurt.
But it was only a 2! That's unbelievable, Tony! Zebra Kid has more guts than garters, obviously.
I've seen many a foe go down to the knee drop to the face. but Zebra Kid won't be one of them.
Hade Vansen now with a jumping hurricanrana on the top, and now can Hade Vansen hit a move hard enough to allow him to walk out All England champion? But no, he missed the
diving headbutt, a patented move of Hade Vansen. It's usually all over after that. Zebra had the smarts to move out of the way, up to the top rope himself. What do we see here?
The perfect elbow. And that did the job. The free count was made thanks to the Zebra Kid's magic mullet with its aerodynamic design. He flew through the air and with precision landed that elbow square in the chest of the challenger, and he will leave Bethnal Green All England champion.
As much as I may not like the guy or his mullet, he did the job. Top rope, picture perfect elbow, laid Hade Vansen out, flat, 1, 2, 3, All England champion, still the Zebra Kid. Now goes on to face the winner of our opening match this evening, James Tighe, who won the #1 contendership.
Wow, James Tighe versus the Zebra Kid for the All England Championship. However, as great event that it is, don't forget that this is British Uprising and we've got some great matches still to come.
As Hade Vansen slowly but surely gets out of the ring now. Hade Vansen is a fan favourite. They know he give it his all. They are firmly behind him as he receives the ovation as he walks up the mat. Hade Vansen, it may not have been his day today, but it might be tomorrow.
Up next, the new breed.
For all you people who don't know who we are the family. I am Brendan Thomas, the Messiah. This is Scotty Rock. This is Ian Disciple, and there's Righteous Paul Travell.
Well, if I may, Messiah, I believe there's something to say about Nikita. You see, tonight, we have some family business to take care of. When I first heard I had a match with you, Nikita, I said no. Why would I want to fight a girl? But then, I consulted the Messiah, and he told me that an example must be made. Tonight, Nikita, you're that example. You see, we have this little thing that we like to do with steel chairs. It's an example to be set. And tonight, you may find out what a sacrifice is all about. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? This man loves to play with chairs.
You see, Scotty Rock is back in the FWA. I'm a calm man now. I've finished my anger management course and I am calm. There's no more voices in my head. I am calm! Can't you see? I am the calmest man in the FWA, and there ain't no man and no one who can stop Scotty Rock. I don't need no more anger management. I'm back in the FWA, ready to kick some ass. You understand me?
Let it out. It's on. Let's get it. Let's get it. Come on.
You've worn the rest, now wear the best with the new FWA t-shirt range. If you want to stand out in a crowd, go to www.frontierwrestling.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next match is an FWA Tag Team Title match against the holders, the Pitbulls. Making their way to the ring first, the challengers.
2-time FWA Tag Team Champions, the new breed Ash and Curve. Former Tag Team Champions looking to regain the glory they once had. This match has been 8 months in the making. Tonight I smell something in the air. It's not your cheap cologne. It's not their opponent's BO. It's a title change.
I'll have you know, Tony, that ain't BO that you can smell coming from me. That ain't no cheap cologne. I'll have you know that's Link's Java for men. But anyway, you're right, it's been 8 months in the making. It's been 8 months now that the Pitbulls won their vacant FWA Tag Team Championships in a one-night gauntlet. and the new breed obviously were disappointed that they didn't walk away that evening themselves, and so they've gone through other opponents, and now it has come to this. It has come to the inevitable. The new breed versus the UK Pitbulls, the FWA Tag Team Championship.
The new breed fan favourites with the crowd, always have been, always will be. Local boys, local crowd. The new breed tonight, for me, are walking out of here new FWA Tag Team Champions. Oh, what's this?
What the hell? It's Burchill. Burchill's been coming out and destroying half a preliminary talent as of late. Oh!
Takes
fireman carry into a reverse neck breaker, and now he's got Ash, and it's a rib breaker.
It's straight
Not
up
one.
again for Ash. What's he going to do with him now? He's treating him like a small child. Up onto the shoulders. Fireman's carry, one fluid motion.
Rolling Samoan crash and a stunning moonsault.
Picture perfect moonsault. Who is this Burchill? Where did he come from? What's he doing here?
I've got a more important question for you. How big is this Burchill? Well, Curve just managed to take him down with a couple of kicks, and I think this is the first time I've ever seen him off his feet.
Burchill is off his feet. Curve has proven that he is no laughing matter. But you say that, and then Burchill nips straight up onto his feet. He doesn't look happy. What is Curve gonna do?
Curve now off the ropes, but Burchill just decapitated one half of the new breed.
The back of his head snapped onto the canvas there. He can't be in a good way. What's the man doing now? He's got a table. This can only mean one thing. This is trouble for anybody in the area.
I really don't like the look of this. Burchill's setting up that table. This can't be good. Burchill, over the last few shows, he's just been coming out and destroying some of our younger rookies, but the new breed, that's a whole new kettle of fish.
The new breed aren't rookies. The new breed have been here for a long, long time. And Burchill is basically treating them like nobodies. Burchill has hoisted up Curve onto his shoulder. I don't know what he's going for. I've not seen this before. He looks around at the crowd.
It doesn't look... Oh my lord! Burchill just dropped Curve just through the table. Then the Man Mountain, known as Burchill, has just ruined one of the most important matches on the card tonight.
The table is broken in half, and so is Curve, as Burchill just picks up a chunk of table and throws it down onto him as if it was nothing. Now the damage has been done. He walks away. Can we please get some security out here right now? The new breed are in serious, serious trouble.
The table has been broken. Curve's been broken, and I think that the dreams of reclaiming tag team glory are somewhat in doubt for Ash and Curve here tonight.
That can't be what I think it is. It's the Pitbulls music. I mean, the Pitbulls are fighting champions. The Pitbulls will take it to anybody. They must have seen in the back what just happened to the new breed. They can't possibly come out here now and expect to fight the new breed. Ash and Curve can't compete tonight. As we've seen, Curve is laid out. He's not moving. What do they plan to do?
The current FWA Tag Team Champions, the UK Pitbulls, but they don't just hold titles here, they hold most of the key championships in most of the federations that are in the UK today. The Pitbulls, who a joint weigh over 70 stone, and you've got to believe that this isn't good for Ash. Surely nobody, not even the FWA officials can believe that this match could happen now.
As Ash looks on, he sees his fallen comrade. He can't be thinking about this match. He can't be thinking about the Pitbulls, but it looks like the Pitbulls are thinking about him. They're eyeing him up in the ring. They're seeing he's on his own. Are they going to make an example of him, or will they just let it lie?
I think the UK Pitbulls look at Ash like he's an incredibly large, tender piece of sirloin steak, and this isn't good for Ash. Ash doesn't know what to do. Ash surely is bewildered. He's just been busted open. He's just been thrown around like a rag doll by Burchill.
Bulk and Big D are standing in the ring now. He's trying to talk to them. He's trying to explain. Ash is putting his point across. What are the Pitbulls going to do? They look like they're having a bit of a chat. They could be explaining things to each other.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tony, I can't blame the Pitbulls. They came here to defend the Tag Team Championship, and that's what they're doing. And now Ash, though, a one-man army, and here we go!
Oh my God!
Butty!
That is 70 stone crashing into you there. The force of the two Pitbulls, the two largest men on the FWA roster, treating little Ash like he's a nobody.
Little Ash, he ain't little, and here we go, but Ash moves out of the way.
He's using street smarts. If he's going to get anywhere against these two big monsters, he's going to need to use his wits and his brains about him.
And now, Ash with the embrace.
He uses the embrace, a devastating move. It would have finished anyone off normally. He's using both of the Pitbulls against each other. Bulldog, bulk onto Big D. Could this be the advantage Ash has been looking for?
I don't care how big Big D is. When your tag team partner Bull crashes down on you, that's gonna break the ribs of any man.
It's true, Nick. I totally agree with you. As Ash still looks out his fallen tag team partner, he needs to know what's happening. Curve is in a bad way. He's not moving just yet. Please, can we get some help out here at the moment?
And here we go now, Big D with a full Nelson bomb on the outside.
Whatever way you look at it, Nick, those mats are there for safety, but let me tell you, those mats aren't 5-6 inches thick. Those mats still hurt.
And the incredible Bull now just rolls over the fallen body of Ash.
Ash is grabbing his ribs, as you well would. It's quite possible he's got some internal injuries. Big D, the stronger member of the two, both formidable, but Big D is showing his dominance here. It looks like he's going for a military press. From the outside, over the top rope. How many people do you know that can do that?
Well, Big D is a former powerlifter, but now he's just an unstoppable wrecking machine.
You've got to feel sorry for the new breed here. They fought for 8 months at a chance to get their titles back.
And now they're being dashed by a double diesel truck splash in the corner.
Ash's ribs. I'd hate to think what condition he's in at the moment. The Pitbulls showing their dominance to the crowd. It looks like they're going for a double choke slam. Straight down. What more could they want to do?
And now the leg across the head and the body across the chest cavity. Ash is nearly destroyed, but what gets me is even though Ash is being dwarfed by these two men, Ash isn't a small man. He's about 5'10", 5'11", 230 to 40 pounds. And now the Pitbulls have just destroyed him with a double powerbomb. And that's it. Just get the Pitbulls out of it. Can we get someone out here, please? I'm sure Tony will agree with me just this one.
100%. The Pitbulls have to be stopped. They didn't have to do what they did. They just treat Ash like a nobody. A double power bomb. Basically, Big D will pick you up, throw you to Bulk, and Bulk will slam you down like you're a nothing, like you're a nobody.
The tag team title reign of the UK Pitbulls ain't just for Christmas, it's obviously for life. They're walking out of British Uprising, the FWA Tag Team Champions. And I got one question for you, Tony. Who's going to be the people to take the titles off the UK Pitbulls, if at all?
To tell you the truth, Nick, there's no one around that I can think of at the moment could even come close to beating the UK Pitbulls. It would have to be a formidable team. But the question at hand is, what is the condition of Curve? As he is slowly being helped to his feet, the man must be in a whole world of hurt right about now. After being driven through the table by the man monster Burchill, what's next for Ash and Curve of the new breed?
Well, if you ask me, what's next is two hospital beds next to each other. Curve doesn't look good at the moment, and Steve Linsky and Andrew Coyne, the FWA officials for our evening, are trying to send the Pitbulls to the back, and they are compliant. We need to just get the new breed to the back. This is horrendous.
What is going to happen with Burchill? No one knows where he came from, no one knows where he's gone. It's about time the FWA officials tracked this guy down and told him what's what in the FWA. We can't have people running around, destroying teams, upsetting matches. I'm sure Ash and Curve will have something to say to Burchill when they're both at 100%. As Ash and Curve are slowly leaving the arena right now, Curve receiving a standing ovation from the fans who truly appreciate what the new breed do.
Now, Tony, it's time to put your finger on the sensor, because up next we've got an interview with the German Herman in regards to his hardcore challenge with Paul's Mahoney.
Hey, yeah, tonight we're coming back. It's ECW time. All this WWE, TNA. I don't give a shit. Tonight, it's a real wrestling, it's real hardcore, it's real blood, it's real professional wrestling. And not this crap you've seen on television. It's us, it's Paul Mahoney against Herman the German. And you know, nobody's perfect, but I am pretty clothes. Remember that when you seen this on your screen.
Well, Jane Childs is looking a little confused, and I don't blame her. We're scheduled to have our main event for the first half of British Uprising, Jerry Lynn versus Doug Williams, but this is Drew McDonald's music, the Highlander from Hell. Maybe this is just a technical glitch. No, there is a Highlander from Hell, Drew McDonald. Quite frankly, he is a scary man. I mean, he's a former Scots Guard. What's going on here? Obviously, he's got something to say. We'll see what he's got to say. Tony, what do you think?
Well, there's only one way to describe Drew McDonald, and it is frightening. The man had a change of image. He no longer comes out with Vixen. He's no longer a part of the old school. But one thing definitely is for sure, Drew McDonald is no laughing matter. He's a man to be taken seriously. And as you said, Nick, it looks like he's got something on his mind.
Well, Drew McDonald, I mean, he's a very well-travelled man. He's wrestled over in America. He's wrestled over in Canada. He's wrestled across Europe. He's a former tag team champion here in the FWA. He's tagged up with such legends as Big Daddy. And this man, he's a former Scots Guard. So to say that he's a bit hard is an understatement.
There's no way you can top that. A Scots Guard is a bit hard. Drew McDonald, definitely one of the biggest men on the FWA roster, coming out here, frightening fans, frightening Jane Charles. There's no need for him to be out here at the moment. He doesn't really want to wait by the looks of things. It looks like he's ready for action. He wants to get in there. He wants to prove to everybody that without the old school, he's just as dominant and just as evil.
No Dean Ayers, no Vixen. He's a man on his own, and he's a man on a mission. And I think the first man he wants to road his way over is going to be the Wildcat, Robbie Brookside.
For nearly a year now, you've been taking cheap shots at me, you've been backstabbing me, you've been doing everything that you can to try and end my career. But Brookside, tonight is your lucky night, because I'm in the ring right now, and if you have enough that people say you have, you'll stand right through these curtains now and get your skinny Liverpool butt right in this ring.
It seems as I was right, Nick. Drew McDonald does not want to wait until later on in the evening. He wants a piece of Robbie Brookside, and he wants it right now.
This match will be a TWA sanctioned match. Unfortunately, the last... Sorry, as I was saying before Drew McDonald cut me off, was that at the last show, Drew McDonald was fired from the FWA because he lost to Hade Vansen, and this was at the hands of Robbie Brookside. And now it's payback time for Drew McDonald.
Robbie Brookside, the wild child Robbie Brookside, holds some impressive victories. He's wrestled all over the world. Brookside has pinfall victories over the likes of Chris Jericho. He's been William Regal's tag team partner. He's wrestled for WCW, All Japan, New Japan, and we find him here in FWA wrestling at British Uprising in the York Hall, Bethnal Green. This should be a pure wrestling clinic. Tonight, two old school warriors going one-on-one for bragging rights.
Being the biggest stage at the moment in the United Kingdom, British Uprising is the perfect opportunity to let these two men settle their score.
Robbie Brookside, fresh off a victory of no surprises for against the All Japan Junior Heavyweight Champion Kendo Kushin in what can only be classed as a modern day classic. Robbie Brookside chatting with the fans outside the ring. It may be a little bit of cocky bravado, but Robbie Brookside knows that when it comes down to it, he's the man that can get the job done.
I have to agree with you, Tony. That match with Kendo Kushin was fantastic. It really was. And I'm sure that Robbie Brookside is going to be more than ready to take on this awesomely scary, terrifying man that is Drew McDonald.
Drew McDonald can be called an awesome force, but so can Robbie Brookside. Maybe about half his size in weight. What Robbie Brookside lacks in weight, he wakes up in ring smarts. The referee you see in the ring at the moment is a TWA referee, Scott Conway. This isn't an FWA sanctioned match. After Nick said earlier, Drew McDonald was fired from the FWA after losing a loser leaves FWA match against rookie Hade Vansen due to interference from Brookside.
If Drew McDonald wants his revenge against Robbie Brookside, he's not going to get many opportunities, so he better make the best of it. And I've got to say that Drew McDonald, he is such a terrifying man. I know I keep saying that, and I'm sorry, Tony, but I think he's going to have the win on this one.
It may well be so, Nick. I heard that Drew McDonald was one of your favourite wrestlers, and it's quite easy to see why. He is a dominant force. He does usually get the job done, but for me, it's all about Robbie Brookside. He beat Ken Shin, a feather in the cap of any wrestler, but for Robbie Brookside, it seemed like another day at the office.
Drew McDonald and Robbie Brookside now trying to lock up, but Drew McDonald is just going for those punches that made him so unstoppable in his early days. Drew McDonald smacks Robbie Brookside to the ground.
Drew McDonald truly is an old school force. I don't say old school in a disrespectful way. I say old school when wrestling used to mean wrestling. Robbie Brookside now in a whole world of hurt as Drew McDonald gets in the nerve hold. Scott Conway referee asking Brookside if he's ready to give it up. A bit early in the match for Brookside to want to give it up. Brookside's a fighter. He will fight to the very end.
Drew McDonald, he doesn't need the planches and the spirally flashy moves that Jody, Fleisch and Jonny Storm and the new school make famous. He only needs these basic holds. He needs the basics to destroy men.
With a devastating clothesline there, it's true. Drew McDonald doesn't need a wide array of moves. He can destroy you with one finger. A vicious clothesline there takes Brookside back down. Brookside on the mat again. McDonald back to the nerve hold. McDonald working over the neck. Maybe we see the Celtic Crusher a little bit later on. Who knows? This match truly can go one way or the other.
I would say we'd have to look out for Drew McDonald's Widowmaker Tombstone Pile Driver. However, the Pile Driver has been banned in the FWA as of late, but I think you'll agree, Drew McDonald isn't one to listen to the rules. Now, speaking of the Pile Driver ban, later tonight, Jerry Lynn versus Doug Williams. The Pile Driver ban has been lifted. Jerry Lynn will be allowed to use the Cradle Pile Driver.
He will be able to use it, Nick, but will he use it? Will Doug Williams allow himself to be in a position for Jerry Lynn to use that devastating move? For me, I don't think so.
I'll tell you one thing, the most interesting thing about it all is that it was his opponent, Doug Williams, that requested for the ban to be lifted. Doug Williams didn't want any excuses. He wanted Jerry Lynn at 100%, and he wanted all his finishers.
Did you see that kick? That kick there, Robbie Brookside could play for the England World Cup squad with a kick like that. 1, 2, a kick out from McDonald, but you know he's in a whole world of hurt right about now.
Robbie Brookside's managed to get back in control, and he's stamping away on the man known as the Highlander from Hell.
Robbie Brookside will do anything to beat this long-time foe. This match has been a long time in the making, ever since Revival, if I remember rightly. This time, Robbie Brookside, will he come out on top, or will it be the Highlander from Hell?
Yes, I remember back at Revival, it was Drew McDonald going over Robbie Brookside to go into the semi-finals. It could be due to questionable refereeing, but that's another conversation for another day.
Robbie Brookside thrown over the top to the outside there. Drew McDonald is no wasted movement. That can be said about Drew McDonald. But if Drew McDonald is no wasted movement, then Robbie Brookside will be no wasted opportunity. Anytime Drew McDonald lets his guard down, we'll see Brookside back on the offense. But at the moment, McDonald is dominating this match. Brookside is down. The ref is telling McDonald to get back in the ring. But as usual, McDonald pays no attention to referees. He does what he likes when he likes. Blatantly grabbing hold of the hair there of Robbie Brookside, but as we say, this is a TWA sanctioned match, not an FWA match. They may have different rules from us.
Drew McDonald has on purposely kept this match at a slow and very deliberate pace. He doesn't want Robbie Brookside, the lighter and quicker opponent, to get any speed, because if he does, that's when Robbie will capitalise.
The way you see, well, the way I see this, Nick, and the way you have to see it, the longer this match goes on, it must favour Drew McDonald. Being the larger of the men, he's used to going longer than the usual lightweight bouts, if you call them that, go for. Brookside is in an unbelievable place right now. McDonald is just taking him from pillar to post, basically. McDonald is proving he's the man.
Well, usually Robbie Brookside may burn himself out by moving around quickly, but it looks like Drew McDonald is going to make him burn just that little bit quicker.
With a vicious whip to the back from his belt. Basically, Drew McDonald's whipped out his belt. He's using it as a weapon. What is the referee doing? It's refereeing like this that we don't stand for in the FWA. We have referees that know their place, know the rules, and know what to do. But Brookside has got the belt. He's back on the offense. He's proving to McDonald, anything you can do, I can do, but I can do it just as vicious.
Well, Drew McDonald, I don't know how effective that's going to be on him. He's got that kind of studded leather belt around his neck. But Robbie Brookside, he's got the advantage now. He sends Drew McDonald off the ropes. Drew's come back, and he takes him down with a clothesline with the belt.
A clothesline to the throat with a leather belt, whatever way you look at it, it's gotta hurt. Straight on the Adam's apple, and a boot to the back of the head, and another. Robbie Brookside, as I've said before, does have the vicious kicks. As he goes in now, if you notice, he puts the forearm across the nose just before McDonald manages to break the hold. But back again, forearm across the nose. He's cutting off the air supply of Drew McDonald. This is an old school British move. You'll see the way he's grinding the cartilage of the nose. Robbie Brookside is trying to take Drew McDonald out, trying to beat him at his own game.
Drew McDonald tried to escape by pulling of the hair, but the referee stopped it. It seems to me now that the irresistible force that is Robbie Brookside is beginning to break down on the unmovable object, Drew McDonald.
As Drew is sent into the ropes, but quite literally comes back with a clothesline and knocks Robbie Brookside on his backside. A 2 count from referee Scott Conway. McDonald looks to inflict some more punishment on the Wild Child.
Looks like Robbie Brookside is back to square one, and I don't know where Drew McDonald's going. The Highlander from hell seems to be climbing to heaven.
You don't see a man of this size climbing to the ropes too often, as Robbie Brookside looks like he's maybe going for his finisher here.
The cross-arm corner slam. Robbie Brookside managed to hit it, but the question is, can he capitalise? Can he get the win?
It took everything he had. He managed to hit it, but Robbie Brookside is dazed. Robbie Brookside doesn't seem to be as dazed. The adrenaline's running. Robbie Brookside is making faces. Robbie Brookside is doing what he does best. He's going to make an example now of the Highlander from hell.
Well, Drew McDonald is in a lot of trouble right here, and Robbie Brookside seems to be setting him up for one of his patented moves, the Tree of Woe.
He's setting him up in the Tree of Woe. This can mean only one thing, Nick London. It can only be the drop kick. The drop kick straight, bang, straight in the face.
Drew McDonald has to be out, and now Robbie Brookside with a cover. The free count is made, and no! It was 2! 2.5, 2 3/4.
Nick, how do you kick out from a straight boot to the face? If that was me, I'd have been out for days.
Well, maybe Drew McDonald isn't your mere mortal. He's from the depths of hell. Scotland, to be exact.
It is true. The Highlander from hell. It's not just a name. It's not just a gimmick. It's who he is. As he goes in now with vicious forearms in the corner. Bang! He's knocked down referee Scott Conway.
I don't know what that is. I think Scott Conway ought to disqualify him, but he doesn't seem to be. And now Robbie Brookside just
would appear
pushed down himself.
A referee isn't needed. All these men want to do, they just want to go out, they just want to fight. Scott Conway injecting himself into this match. He's disqualified both men.
Well, I don't agree with him physically dragging off Robbie Brookside, but I agree with the disqualification. Drew McDonald just flattened Scott Conway there. And Drew McDonald's frustrated. He has lost his opportunity to get that win over Robbie Brookside here at British Uprising.
Drew McDonald just giving Robbie Brookside the 2-fingered salute and said, I've had enough for now, but one day I'll be back. Robbie Brookside isn't happy with the decision. Robbie Brookside has put referee Scott Conway in the Tree of Woe, and are we going to see it once more?
I don't think we're going to see much more of this TWA official.
Well said, Nick London. Robbie Brookside proving that he was the dominant man at the end of the match, taking out the referee, taking out Drew McDonald. Who would have won the match? We'll never know. A double DQ there, TWA sanctioned match. Robbie Brookside, we'll see him again one day, as will we of the Highlander Drew McDonald. But to be honest, the referee, I'm not happy for him.
We'd like to thank TWA for allowing us to have this match here at British Uprising. But up next, Tony, Tony!
It's the one you've all been waiting for, the main event of FWA British Uprising Part 1.
Oh, it's gonna be the new effing show. Jerry Lynn taking on the anarchist Doug Williams. It's a match. It's a good reason why a lot of these people are here today, and it's gonna be the main event of our first half.
You know what, FWA? I didn't get much sleep last night, and there's a reason for this. This is the uprising of British wrestling. This is the big one. This is the show to end all the other shows. And Johnny Storm is a big part of the FWA. So it makes perfect sense to have the best from America. And I'm talking about TNA former champion AJ Styles, a great wrestler. And it makes sense to have the greatest of the British versus the greatest of American to find out once and for all who is the best. Now FWA is in my blood and it's in my heart, and I'm going to do my damnedest to show you, the British fans, why British wrestling is up there with wrestling around the world, because we are the FWA, we are the best and we are the baddest, because Johnny the Wonder Kid Storm is here, style in action.
Ring announcer Jane Charles just announced former FWA champion Doug the Anarchist Williams tonight faces Jerry Lynn, the new effing show direct from the US of A in what can only be called a match of the year candidate. I'm saying this of course before the match has already happened, but trust me, I've got a feeling in my bones.
I think I'm going to have to agree with you, Tony. I think me, you and everyone in the FWA, as well as all their fans, if there's one match they wanted to see, it was Doug Williams versus Jerry Lynn, and you will get to see it as the main event of British Uprising Part 1.
For me, it was only a matter of time before these two wrestling technicians got together, and all I can say is I'm glad it happened on home soil.
My Lord Tony, can you hear the ovation being given for the new effing show, Jerry Lynn? The fans are pumped, and Tony, I don't mind telling you, I'm pumped for this one.
I think it'd be a fool not to be pumped up for this one. This is going to be a wrestling clinic, wrestling at its best. Jane Charles announced it, former ECW World Champion, former WWE Light Heavyweight Champion, and a former, maybe even the current NWA TNA X Division Champion.
If there's a prestigious title out there, Jerry's wrestled it, he's won it.
And he's got the t-shirt to prove it. The fans are on their feet, they're in appreciation for Jerry Lynn and what he's done for the wrestling business, as they are for Doug Williams. They know what to expect, this is what they came to see.
The bell has been sounded, the two men have shook hands, and here we go. Jerry and Doug lock up. Jerry now with the wrist lock, and he's taking it up. He's tightening, and now Doug with the reversal, a wrist lock of his own.
Referee Andrew Coyne checking the action thick and fast as Jerry Lynn goes to the row through and takes Doug over with an arm drag.
Nice floating over arm drag. A very good move there, and I think Jody's proved his dominance so far, but I'm sure Doug will want the last laugh.
As the men lock up, Doug takes the arm, he goes through into the wrist lock. Jerry Lynn not happy about that. He's trying to get through and he gets his own wrist lock on the Anarchist. The Anarchist roll through and he's going up and over and under and takes Jerry Lynn down, goes for the pin. Quick pin there, both men up on their feet.
Nice judo throw there from Doug Williams. Doug Williams, a former judo champion himself before he became a professional wrestler. And he's using those techniques and he's brought them into the sport. I'm sure Jerry wasn't expecting that.
Doug Williams has been called the best kept secret in wrestling. He's been called the most underrated wrestler in the universe. This match will be a reason why these words are true. As Jerry Lynn now takes Doug Williams up, or Doug Williams takes Jerry Lynn up and over. Doug Williams back onto his feet with the sleep, up and over.
And now Doug Williams and Jerry Lynn have speeded up the pace of this match. Jerry Lynn now, no, to the corner goes Jerry. Jerry over the top of Doug. Doug charges in, he goes underneath Jerry. Jerry now, headlock, 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 and now the head scissors. And a no, Jerry with another headlock. Doug goes down, Doug with the head scissors. Jerry hops up, double drop kick, and now
a standoff. The fans on their feet in appreciation. They know what they're seeing. They know it's the best. It's FW action all the way.
Just to remind you, the pile driver ban has been lifted for this match. Jerry Lynn will be looking to use the cradle pile driver to end this match. Doug Williams, meanwhile, will be looking for the Revolution DDT or the Chaos Theory rolling German suplex.
Each of these men has a few devastating finishes. Which will we see this evening as Doug Williams takes Jerry Lynn into the corner. Jerry Lynn flips it around, Doug into the corner, and knee to the gut from Jerry Lynn. A couple of boots as well. He's working over Doug Williams. Punch to the forehead. Jerry Lynn trying to prove that he can match not only technical skill with pure aggression too.
Doug Williams now has just been flipped to the outside and Jerry Lynn throws a punch. Doug reverses. Doug going guillotine leg drop!
Have you ever seen anything as beautiful as Jerry Lynn's guillotine leg drop? Doug was going to be smart. Doug was trying to go for the shoulder and the ribs. Jerry Lynn knew it was coming. Jerry Lynn capitalised.
And Jerry Lynn now with a tope dive, taking down Doug Williams.
Jerry Lynn with a tope on helo, basically a forward flip to the outside. It's effective, it works. You've got nearly 20 stone of man jumping straight for you. Doug Williams out for the count.
Doug Williams now outside with Jerry Lynn, and I'll have to say I think the outside would suit Jerry Lynn more better, but no, he's brought Doug back in for the pinfall. The 3 count? No, just 2.
This has been a fantastic match so far, and we've only scratched the surface of both these wrestlers' stunning array of moves. Jerry Lynn now backs Doug into a corner, fist to the forehead. Doug tries to shake the cobwebs off.
Jerry Lynn now is managing to wear away on Doug in the corner now. Referee Andrew Coyne trying to keep him out of there. Doug
goes for a fake, thinks he's got it scouted. Jerry Lynn knew what was happening. He saw what was going to see. What's coming from Jerry? Oh my word! Bulldog from the top rope.
Jerry Lynn with the top rope. Bulldog with a 3 count with no!
Referee Andrew Coyne now. 2. He tells Jerry it's a 2 count. Jerry Lynn must be thinking, what have I got to do to put the Anarchist away?
Oh, I think Jerry might be thinking that this was just a British guy, but he's not just any British guy. This is the Anarchist, Doug Williams. Doug Williams now, knee to the back.
Jerry Lynn went for the drop kick, missed time, landed flat on his back. The Anarchist saw the opportunity, he went for it, knee drop to the back. As Doug Williams has Jerry Lynn now where he wants him. It looks like it's the gory special.
An immensely painful hold, and Doug Williams has got a very special way of making it that little more painful. And Jerry Lynn's not quitting, so Doug's going to let him have it.
Straight into the corner turnbuckle, can you believe it? Oh my God, drop kick whilst upside down, inside the turnbuckles, it can't be good for you.
Doug Williams flips through the bridge, but Jerry kicks out. Seems to me that Doug seems to be working on the lower back of Jerry Lynn.
It does
be a sound strategy.
Doug Williams looks a bit bemused, something like that may have put anyone else away, but Jerry Lynn, the new effing show, isn't going out like that. Doug Williams goes in now with a chin lock and goes straight onto his back, knees into the back of Lynn. wrenching back there on Jerry Lynn, asking him, the referee, will he submit? Will he submit?
Doug Williams is conversing with the referee, but the referee, Andrew Coyne, is telling Doug that this match isn't over yet. Doug Williams with a kind of a cross-face, semi-Mexican board-type maneuver. Jerry managed to escape it, but he's still at the mercy of the Anarchist, former FWA heavyweight champion.
Now Doug Williams looks like he's going from a lasso from El Paso or a maple leaf, a single leg Boston crab, if you will. He's working on the back of Jerry Lynn. He's got his knee firmly planted, or did have, on Jerry Lynn's neck. He's working the back of Jerry Lynn.
Doug Williams learned that move from Eddie Guerrero himself when Eddie came over for FWA Revival. But now Doug is facing Jerry Lynn, and this might be the hardest challenge he's had today. Jerry Lynn, however, flips over, sunset flip, and will this do it?
Doug Williams out of that, and Jerry into another pinfall. Jerry's pinning Doug, 1-2, will we see it? Doug on Jerry, 1-2, and roll over again, 1-2. What will we see? Will either of these men get the pinfall?
Jerry Lynn went for the full Nelson, but Doug rolls him up. Jerry reverses. Doug now kicks out.
Have you seen action as fast and thick as this in a long time? Both men down, double headbutt. They had the same idea.
Well, they clashed in the middle, and you can hear these fans applauding these two men's brave efforts. Both men down now, and referee Andrew Coyne will begin to admonish the 10 counts.
You can hear the fans, FWA all the way. They appreciate what they see. Wrestlers like Jerry Lynn and Doug Williams don't come along every week. They're here, they're showing what they can do. Doug Williams back on the offense, forearms back and forth. Lynn and Williams jockeying for position. Who will it be? Doug Williams sends Lynn in to the ropes.
Doug Williams now with an elbow to the face of Jerry Lynn, and Jerry Lynn could potentially be out cold. If I know Doug Williams, he's setting up for one of his devastating moves, and here we go. Doug Williams, bomb, scare, knee, drop.
Have you ever seen anything as beautiful as Doug Williams dropping a knee across opponent's chest? Usually that would take a man out. Jerry Lynn, he's not quite done yet. The crowd arguing with the referee, they knew it should have been a 3 count. Jerry Lynn got the arm up, he's proving.
The referee was having disagreements with the fans, and I think they're going to show how passionate they are. And here we go, a powerbomb off the top rope. Jerry Lynn with a 3 count. No!
Jerry Lynn has put many an opponent away. He springboarded off the middle ropes into a sunset flip, taking Williams over. The force driving Williams over onto his front, something you don't see very often. Williams is a big man, but Jerry Lynn can still move him around like a cruiserweight.
Jerry Lynn is incredibly agile for a man his size, as is Doug Williams. And Jerry Lynn is going to take Doug Williams for a flying lesson. Top rope superplex, Tony, you think?
It could well be. It's looking that way. Oh my word! Both men on their backs, screaming in agony. Lynn gets the arm over. Referee Andrew Coyne down. Williams is up at 2. Williams is up at 2.
Andrew Coyne is incredibly late with that 3 count, and that could have allowed Doug Williams to continue this match. Both men hit the canvas so hard, they both bounced back upwards again and landed one more time.
Referee administering the count, not needed. Jerry Lynn signalling for the finishing manoeuvre, the cradle pole driver.
And here we go. No! Doug Williams managed to reverse it. Doug Williams flipped Jerry Lynn on his shoulders!
Over in one fluid movement. Bang! Down! Did you see that? Face
1, 2, no! Jerry Lynn got his hand to the rope, and the match is still on!
It's ring smarts, Nick. It's ring smarts, knowing where you are, where the ropes are, and what's happening to you. Doug Williams thought it was all over, arguing with the referee. Lynn grabbed the rope.
And here we go, Doug Williams with a fisherman buster.
1, 2, are we going to see it? Lynn gets the arm up. Doug Williams must be thinking to himself, he's asking the referee, what have I got to do to put Jerry Lynn away?
The best of British, the best of the US, and it's still going on. Doug Williams looking to put away Jerry Lynn with one more fisherman buster.
Going for the same move. Jerry Lynn straight down into the Fujiwara armbar, one of the most painful moves there are in submission wrestling. Jerry Lynn asking the referee, ask him ref, ask him, is Doug Williams going to submit?
This move puts the pressure on the shoulder and the elbow joint, but Doug Williams managed to get to the rope. He's a very lucky man.
Indeed he is, Nick. Indeed he is. Doug Williams was in a whole world of hurt there. Jerry Lynn capitalising, kicking the arm. He knows that it hurt Williams. That's what he's going to be concentrating on from now on.
Doug Williams went to go. Revolution did it. No! I thought Doug Williams was going to get the Revolution DDT, but Jerry Lynn is going to take him.
It's the TKO. Basically, it's a fireman's carry into a diamond cut. It's a devastating move, and I cannot believe Doug Williams is still moving.
It wasn't a 1 count. It wasn't a 2 count. I think it was about a 2 7/8 or something along those lines. But regardless, the match still goes on. Doug Williams, Jerry Lynn. Who's going to win this first match between them? This is first time ever between them. And Jerry Lynn up top.
Did you see anything? A spinning tornado DDT, anything quite that? He put his arms around the head, he had it lynched in, took Williams down. Williams was managing to get the 2 count.
Doug Williams' face was drove to the mat, but it didn't get the job done. Jerry Lynn must be asking himself, what have I got to do to take away the anarchist?
As he goes straight through, into the leg lock. It looks like an Achilles lock. Is Williams targeting the legs of Jerry Lynn? Jerry Lynn looks like he's in the middle of the ring. He's nowhere near a rope. What's he gonna do? Doug Williams has it cinched in. He's not letting go. He wants Lynn to tap out.
Doug Williams wants this win. If he could get this win, imagine what it could do for his reputation over on the other side of the ocean in the US of A. Doug Williams would be a hot prospect.
Andrew Coyne now witnessing the action. Jerry Lynn slowly but surely made it to the ropes. Knee drop straight down on the chest cavity. Andrew Coyne checking to see if Jerry Lynn's okay as Doug Williams climbs to the top.
Could he be going for another bomb scare knee drop? We'll find out, but Jerry Lynn's moving his way up and he crotches the anarchist.
A move that can quite simply be called painful. Straight down on the top turnbuckle. Jerry Lynn must be using those ring smarts for something. A headbutt to the gut, a forearm to the head. What's Jerry Lynn planning next?
Jerry Lynn is an absolute ring general. He knew where his opponent was and he crushed him, but Doug Williams has managed to save himself, and Doug Williams seems to be setting himself up for something special here. Jerry Lynn's getting back to his feet. Doug Williams now, Revolution DDT from the second row!
Have you ever seen it from that high up, Andrew? He drove Lynn's head straight into the mat.
Doug Williams has beaten some of our top men with this move, and both men are down. If Doug Williams could capitalise, he could win the match. Doug Williams has beaten some of our top guys. He's beaten Jody Fleisch, he's beaten Johnny Storm, but can he beat Jerry Lynn tonight here in Bethnal Green?
Referee Andrew Coyne admonishing the 10 count there. It took a while for both men to get to their feet. They're up, they're sluggish, they're trading blow for blow. Is Doug Williams going for it?
Chaos Theory, but no! Jerry Lynn rolls through!
And a kick out there. Oh my God, have you ever seen anyone reverse the Chaos Theory quite as picture perfect as that? Jerry Lynn thought he was going for it, switched it around into a pinning combination. Williams looked bemused. He wasn't sure what was going on. He knows he's got to try it again. Jerry Lynn is not going to go out that easy.
When is one of these men going to make a mistake that will result in somebody winning this match? Doug Williams flips over. He's got it. Revolution DDT. No.
Is it going? No. It's all the way. 1, 2, and a 3 count.
The
Doug
Chaos
Williams.
Chaos Theory German suplex got the job done for the UK's own anarchist Doug Williams.
And you can hear it quite simply. A standing ovation for every man, woman and child inside the York Hall at FWA British Uprising. What they've seen was pure wrestling clinic. What they've seen was undoubtedly one of the best matches personally I've ever seen.
I mean, I'd like to congratulate Doug Williams. That was a phenomenal display from him. He deserved any accolades he gets. And what is this going to do for his reputation? Not just here in the United Kingdom, not just in Europe, but over in the US of A. Jerry Lynn, what a win.
As the crowd now rising to their feet, the FWA chant going strong and sound as Jerry Lynn and Doug Williams raise each other's hands. It's not about rivalry, it's about wrestling. It's about putting on the best they possibly can.
This was just the first half.
I can't believe it, Nick. That was part 1. Make sure you get part 2.
October
2002. The plane landed. They went through my bags. They found the barbed wire. They found the forks. They found this little gadget. And they tried to say, well, you got to go back to America. And I said, what's wrong with you? Don't you know that this is Mahoney, the hardcore chair swinging freak? Don't you know that I got a big match tomorrow night with Herman? Don't you know that I'm about to spread ECW violence all over your island? That little customs official, after he wiped his pants, cleaned himself off, he just let me go. Well, what a mistake you made! Because I'll tell you, old Herman right now is shitting his pants because he knows he's got barbed wire, thumbtacks, and the hardest chair swinger of professional wrestling to deal with tonight. English wrestling fans, get ready for the violence. Get ready for the blood, because I'm about to baptize all of you with ECW violence.
Welcome to FWA's British Uprising Part 2. I'm your host Tony Giles, alongside none other than Nick London.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the York Hall here in Bethnal Green. My name is Nick London, and tonight the FWA is presenting to you British Uprising Part 2.
Coming up tonight, Nick, we're going to see an international challenge match, the phenomenal AJ Styles versus the UK's own Wonder Kid Jonny Storm. Alongside that, we're going to see the hardcore chair swinging freak Mahoney versus the near 7-foot German Herman in a hardcore match.
And tonight, the main event for the vacant FWA Heavyweight Championship. It's going to be Fleisch versus Jody Fleisch in a ladder match. And coming down to ringside now is Jane Childs. And up next, it's going to be a family affair, Tony, because Nikita is going to go one-on-one with Travell of the family.
Hearing that music, Nick, it can only mean one thing. The family are on their way to the ring.
Holy sweet Mother Mary of Jesus, Tony! They're coming down to what look like flaming crosses!
Indeed, you're right, Nick. The family making their way down to the ring with their trademark entrance with their burning crosses. The family, Travell, the righteous one, Travell, led of course by the Messiah Brandon Thomas, flanked on each side by Scotty Rock and Ian Disciple.
The family tonight are looking for a win over Nikita. Nikita representing something which they despise most in the FWA. Nikita is successful. Nikita has won the hearts of the fans. But if you ask me, Tony, I can't figure out why.
I think it's quite blatantly obvious to see why Nikita's won the hearts of the fans. Nikita is a fine athlete. She goes out there, she takes care of business, unlike some of the unscrupulous ways of the family.
Well, the family are a fantastic set of wrestlers. They're a great bunch of athletes, but their ways I find just a little disturbing, Tony.
You know what, Nick? I'm in 100% agreement with you there. The way Brandon Thomas just blankly stares at you sometimes, it's almost as if he's looking right through you.
The family came about when the Messiah, Brandon Thomas, was named Spaghetti Jesus by the show stealer Alex Shane. Since then, he was mocked by the fans, and now he has appointed himself a Messiah to the lost souls of the FWA. Now, coming down to the ring is Nikita. Travell now with a punch to the back. He flings Nikita down to the ground.
Oh, vicious heel kick there from Paul Travell. It looks like he's just going to use this match to make a mockery of Nikita.
Paul Travell's managed to get the advantage early on, and now Nikita, so soon in the match, is down. Paul Travell trash talking to Nikita, and he sets her into the ropes.
What's he going to do, Nick? What's he going to... Oh, he just slaps her around the face. What kind of respect does that show to another wrestler?
Nikita now is flung to the ropes, and Nikita over the top. Paul Travell, oh, clothesline to Paul Travell, and again, Paul Travell is met with another stiff clothesline. Nikita launches Paul Travell, but Paul Travell spills to the outside.
Paul Travell taking the coward's way out to the outside there. He doesn't want to fight Nikita. He thought he was going to have an easy night's work. Nikita proving she's more than a match.
And now Nikita, it looks like Vulture.
She doesn't just take out Paul Travell, she takes out each and every member of the family.
And now Nikita has managed to get the momentum back her way as she has wiped out whole of the family. Now, with a forearm across the face of Paul Travell, she's now going to ram his head into the apron and send him back into the ring.
If Paul Travell thought he was going to make an example of Nikita, I bet he's thinking again because she's doing the same.
Paul Travell managed to escape back again to the outside with the safety of the family. I'll tell you one thing, I don't envy Andrew Coyne's job here tonight as the referee. Not only has he got to control Nikita and Paul Travell, but each member of the family as well. It looks like Andrew Coyne's getting some sort of an official announcement.
Referee Andrew Coyne has made the decision. The rest of the family have to return to the locker room. And right and all, Nick, this is a one-on-one match.
Well, Paul Travell doesn't seem to like it, and who can blame him? Referee Andrew Coyne has sent the three members of the family to the back. Brandon Thomas, Ian Disciple, and Scotty Rock.
Nick, I got to ask you this. If Paul Travell thinks he's such a dominant man, why did... Nick, I have to ask you this. If Paul Travell's such a dominant man, why does he need the rest of the family at ringside?
To be honest, I don't think he does need the rest of the members of the family at ringside. But you've got to remember, Paul, they're family. They always go together with one another.
That's fair enough. I agree with family, Nick. I just don't agree with this family.
It looks like Paul Travell is mocking Nikita. Nikita is dragged to the outside and unceremoniously dumped to the outside.
Whatever way you look at it, Nick, those mats are there for the wrestler's protection, but it does still hurt being taken to the outside. Paul Travell showing a chauvinistic style.
Paul Travell offered to let Nikita come back into the ring, but quite frankly, I wouldn't trust Paul Travell as far as I can throw him and a knee to the face.
Paul Travell is just showing blatant disregard for another competitor here tonight. He's trying to make an example of Nikita.
But Nikita with a hangman to the family member, and now it looks like, yes, she's going up top, Tony.
Nikita caught there by Paul Travell.
And a T-bone suplex.
Perfect T-bone suplex from Paul Travell, the righteous one. Nikita's down. She doesn't look to be in a good position.
Nikita looks like she's been knocked a touch silly, doesn't seem to know what's going on. And now Paul Travell is stalking his prey. He picks up Nikita by the hair, launches her to the ropes, and an elbow across the throat.
Back elbow there, sending Nikita down, and a vicious leg drop to the back of the neck.
Paul Travell now the leg drop, and now the cover, but only a 2, Tony. It looked, I'm surprised Nikita kicked out. She had the leg dropped across the back of her head.
It's going to take a lot more than that to keep Nikita down, Nick. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but I have. Paul Travell seems to be talking to somebody when he's in the ring. He's mumbling to himself. He's talking about what he's going to do.
I think he's got a few screw loose. But I'll tell you one thing, I've been looking at Nikita's outfit, and it looks like tonight she might actually be sponsored by Baco Foil. And I bet when you peel away that Baco Foil, she's hot.
You're damn right she's hot, Nick.
Yes, but you know what will be even hotter, Tony? Having her tied to my sink and cleaning my dishes.
Listen to this, Nick. If Nikita ever heard you say those words, she'd clean your clock.
Did you say clock, Tony, or did you say...
Paul Travell picking Nikita up now. He's going for an arm lock. Paul Travell just seems to be...
He went for a thrust kick, but it seems that he didn't get it. He got a knee to the face, however. Nikita again thrown to the ropes, and now head scissors takedown.
Paul Travell doesn't seem to know where he is. One arm drag for Paul Travell. Nikita going 2 Japanese arm drags for Paul Travell there. Nikita seems to have got some momentum back.
Nikita looked like she was going for a monkey flip, but Paul Travell caught her, stuck into the corner. Nikita now, how about tornado monkey flip?
Have one of those, Paul Travell, and how would you like another? Nikita going in for the cover.
1, 2, and... It wasn't quite, Tony. Paul Travell doesn't want to lose to a woman here tonight in York Hall, Bethnal Green.
Nikita with a vicious knee to the face of Paul Travell there. He seems to be a little bit uneasy at the moment as Nikita sticks in the forearms. Paul Travell fires back with a blow to the gut.
Looks like Paul Travell's trying to get back the control, but Nikita with a crucifix roll. Not quite.
Paul Travell kicks out of the sunset flip pin, and Nikita sends Paul Travell over the ropes.
Now Nikita's only a woman. It took a lot more effort to get that big burly man Paul Travell over the top rope. I mean, this is why I wonder why Nikita why should she be in a man's world? It is wrestling. She's obviously not suited to it, Tony.
Nikita proving she's a fan favourite, and I wouldn't actually say that Paul Travell was a burly man, Nick, would you?
Well, she's burlier than Nikita. Nikita now, no, Paul caught her, and it looks like Paul Travell into the ring post with Nikita's spine.
That was a vicious driving blow there into the ring post. Nikita, I can't believe what Paul Travell's doing to her. It's not just because she's a woman, he's making an example.
Referee Andrew Coyne was checking on the well-being of both competitors, but if you ask me, it could be over. Paul Travell laughing maniacally at the heavens as he takes it to Nikita's back.
Driving her into the ring, her back. How much more of this can she take? Paul Travell senses there has been a change in the tide. He knows what he's got to do. The opportunity has arisen, and it looks like he's going for... It's a bow and arrow around the ring post. Look at his face, Nick. What is he doing?
I'm sure Nikita can't take much more of this. You know what women are like? They're kind of flimsy and they're easy to break. Referee Andrew Coyne managed to get Paul off with though. If you ask me, that was good officiating. But Paul Travell has the control. It's obvious what his game plan is, Tony. He's working on the back of Nikita and he's breaking her down bit by bit.
You're right, Nick. He is working on the back. He's doing each and everything he can to try and take Nikita out as he sends her off to the ropes. It was a tilt-a-whirl into a backbreaker. Again, just singling out the back. Why is he doing this? Why does he have to work the back? The back is such a vital part of a wrestler's body.
Well, it's tactics like this that led Paul Travell to his first championship here in the FWA, the All England Championship. And it surprises me that she's not a champion today.
Coming up after this match, Nick, we're going to see some hardcore action. We're going to see the near 7-foot German, Herman, taking on the All Danes Church of Satan member, Mahoney. Now, Nick, I wonder, what would Mahoney think of the family?
Oh, my Lord, Tony. Once again, he's working on the back. Sorry, Mahoney, his fault on the family. I really wouldn't know. I don't know what goes through the minds of men like these. I'm a simple Christian man myself.
Paul Travell cinching in the camel clutch there. Referee Andrew Coyne asking Nikita, do you want to give up? Nikita has the fortitude to say no. She's trying to make her way to the ropes.
Nikita manages to reach the ropes, and I'm quite surprised that she didn't give up there.
You know, Nick, they say that women have a pain threshold 9 times stronger than that of a man. It must have been something like that that was willing Nikita to get to the ropes to break the hold.
How dare you, Tony? I don't approve of your sexist comments here on commentary. Are you implying that a man can't take pain as much as a woman? Oh, what's this? Tony, I don't like the look of this.
A vicious chokeslam into a backbreaker. Nikita, look at her lifeless body. She's limp. Travell just throws her down like a rag doll. Travell has one thing on his mind: the destruction of Nikita.
If Nikita wasn't broken in half, she is now. Now, Tony, I know what you're asking yourself. You're asking, what's going through the mind of Nikita? And after that move, I'd say it's one of her vertebrae.
Look at the way he just dumps her in the ring like he has no respect. Somebody needs to teach Paul Travell a lesson. Referee Andrew Coyne needs to get on his case and prove who the dominant man in the ring is.
Paul Travell needs to be taught a lesson. If you ask me, he's teaching Nikita a lesson of what a man is all about. And now, Paul Travell's removing the turnbuckle pad. I don't understand this, Tony.
Referee Andrew Coyne needs to step in there. He's quite blatantly breaking the rules. Why would he be doing that? Look at the way he disrespects the ref.
Well, referee Andrew Coyne's just going to go back out there and, hang on. I've got it. I have understood. He's distracted the referee, Tony. He's now removing the other pad. That's ingenious. I don't approve of it, but it's ingenious.
You know what, Nick? I think I've cottoned on to his plan. He distracts the referee, hoping to use the exposed turnbuckle to damage the back of Nikita one more time.
And now Paul Travell. No, Nikita! Nikita, the schoolboy!
The plan backfires. Come on, referee. Nikita's got the pin. Referee, where are you? Referee Andrew Coyne, open your eyes.
Come on, Paul, kick out!
Oh my God, that was a 3 count right there. Referee Andrew Coyne, wrong place.
And a spine buster!
Look at the way Paul Travell stumbles out of the spine buster. It took as much out of him as it did Nikita.
Well, I'm not quite sure. Nikita looks a little dead right about now, Tony. Referee Andrew Coyne has just seen that pad and he's questioning Paul Travell. Travell is going on top, but Nikita's cut him off with the
Nikita fires back with a kick and a punch to the stomach. What's Nikita going for? She's climbing the top rope. Could it be a top rope superplex?
Well, it looks like a superplex, but Paul Travell is fighting for his life here. A couple of right hands, and what is this, Tony? Is he going to go for a top rope powerbomb? No, Travell flips over, and now sacrificial slam, Tony. Do you think?
It looks like Travell's setting up for his finisher. She kicks out of it, a kick to the gut. Another one sends him into the corner and sends him off the ropes.
And now Nikita's resting in the corner, but a boot to the face of
Big
Paul
boot
Travell.
to the face.
And now Nikita, second rope drop kick.
Missile drop kick there. Paul Travell's the one that's down now. Nikita going to the top rope on the other side of the ring.
I don't know if this is wise. It looks like Nikita might be going for a high-risk maneuver of some sorts.
It looks as though, she went and she missed. That's why they call it high risk.
And now, here it is, sacrificial slam. And the 3 count, will it be told? 2, 3.
All said and done.
A win for the family. Look at the face of Paul Travell. The reign of terror continues here in the Frontier Wrestling Alliance.
From a missed move, that's why they call it high risk. She went for the moonsault. Unfortunately, she missed. Travell sunk in the sacrificial slam.
Tony, when it comes to the sacrificial slam, no man can kick out. And quite frankly, a woman didn't have a chance in hell.
Nikita gave it all she had, Nick. Today, it wasn't quite good enough, but you can guarantee somewhere along the lines these two are going to meet again.
But up next, it's going to be Balls Mahoney taking on the 7-foot German Ulf Herman in a hardcore challenge match.
This is the show stealer, Alex Shane. If you want to keep up to date with all the latest FWA Frontier merchandise, including videos, CDs and t-shirts, go to www.frontierwrestling.com.
German Ulf Herman makes his way to the ring from what can be described, Nick, as a hardcore classic in the making.
Well, Ulf Herman proudly wearing his ECW t-shirt. Could this be a sign of things to come? Could we see one of the most violent hardcore matches in between the 7-foot German Ulf Herman and Balls Mahoney.
These two are both hardcore veterans. As the crowd goes wild for the entrance music that can be described as amazing, to be honest.
This will be Balls Mahoney's first time in the United Kingdom, and how appropriate is it that he comes to British Uprising here, Bethnal Green, you're called to face former ECW competitor Ulf Herman.
Mahoney singing along with the crowd there, the crowd showing their appreciation and showing Balls, who does have the biggest balls of all.
It's sing along with the chair swinging freak.
As the crowd rings out an ECW chant, and quite rightly, both of these guys, ECW hardcore veterans.
And you can tell that both men are very proud of their roots. Both men have a chair in their hands, and Balls Mahoney has a little something special in the form of a barbed wire bat.
As you hear the crowd chanting along now with each wrestler.
The fans here tonight are behind the company as much as they are behind these competitors. They seem to have taken down their chairs. Tony, I really am worried as to how this match might end.
As they start off with a handshake, proving that there's no animosity here, they're just out to give the fans what they want to see. And you're right, Nick, they've discarded their chairs. It looks like they may be starting a normal wrestling contest.
Holy Lord, you think we might see a wrist lock or maybe a headlock?
You know what, Nick, I wouldn't be surprised. Ulf Herman and Balls Mahoney do both indeed know how to wrestle. Balls Mahoney, interesting fact, used to be an amateur wrestler, but was actually banned for his conduct.
Now, why am I not surprised, Tony? Why am I not surprised? But let's get back to the match. Although they started with a nice little clean sportsman handshake, I can tell you there's a very good chance, in the words of Balls Mahoney himself, the ring might be baptized in blood.
Balls Mahoney proving to the fans that he's respectful of what they're doing for him.
There seems to be an ECW chant rising here, but
Balls Mahoney seems to be grabbing the microphone. It seems he has something to say.
What's up, England? I want to do me a favor tonight. I love the support you're giving for the ECW, but after Hade went bankrupt on us and left us all homeless, the guys that paid me tonight is not ECW. What's the name of this company? So, when you see something you like, instead of chanting that ECW shit, keep me FWA.
There you go, Balls Mahoney proving to the fans that he doesn't want to be remembered as an ECW wrestler from now on. He wants to be known as part of the FWA.
Balls Mahoney, a former ECW wrestler. You know what? I think current FWA competitor has a nicer ring to it, Tony.
You know what, Nick? You're 100% right.
And I always am, because when it's my opinion, it's the only opinion.
Fair enough, Nick. As the crowd are already chanting, "We want blood," before the match has even begun. The crowd knows what to expect, Nick. They've seen this kind of match before, but what they haven't seen is they haven't seen it live and direct at the York Hall in Bethnal Green.
Well, I'll tell the fans at home, you're guaranteed at least two things in an Ulf Herman match. That's lots of blood and lots of swearing.
It looks like Ulf Herman's actually using a wrestling hold to take Balls down. It's a hammerlock, and he's taking him down.
Tony, did I just see a hammerlock? And did he just take him down?
You're damn right, Nick. That was a wrestling hold. It's not what I expected, but we've just seen it.
My Lord Almighty, it looks like we've started off with a wrestling match, but I'm sure it won't be like that for much longer. The two men are now circling. The fans are into this match so much. Can you feel the love here tonight in Bethnal Green?
I can Feel the love indeed, Nick, as they lock up again. And Balls takes Ulf down with a leg lock. Ulf gets to the ropes, but I can't believe what we're seeing, Nick.
Balls Mahoney and Ulf Herman have just broken into a wrestling match. That's how proud they are.
As the fans break out into the FWA chant, they appreciate what they've seen. Even if it isn't what they're expecting, they still know good wrestling when they see it.
Well, you never know. We may see this match end with an inside cradle, just after Hell's frozen over. And once more, a lock-up. And Ulf Herman now has forced Balls Mahoney into the rope. Will he get a clean break? Will he hell?
A forearm across the chest of Balls Mahoney as he's sent off into the ropes. Up and over, it looks like he's going for a sunset flip. Ulf Herman fighting it.
And Ulf Herman now, Ulf Herman's been taken down with a leg lock. Ulf Herman with the rope. But Balls released the hold. Steve Linsky making sure that rope breaks are kept in, even if this is a hardcore challenge match.
Once again, the FWA chant starts. The fans are in appreciation of what they see.
This is what makes the FWA so great. 50% of it is the in-ring competitors, and the other 50% are the fans of the Frontier Wrestling Alliance. And I'll tell you one thing, Tony, we love every single one of you.
As you just heard the fans ring out, the chant was Balls can wrestle, and he certainly can. Ulf Herman returning to dirty tactics, a boot to the gut and some blows to the back of the head as he sends Balls off into the ropes.
Balls now with his trademark punches.
And the crowd go for it. Here we go.
Ulf Herman staggers back. Balls Mahoney off the ropes. And now spin kicks him over the top rope.
Taking a spinning heel kick over to the outside of the ropes for the first time. Balls is signaling to the crowd, I think it's time for you to move out of the way. He's got something on his mind.
Balls Mahoney now has control of the 7-foot German. Ulf Herman, however, he's a powerful man, but Balls Mahoney is a bigger man than he is and much powerful. But Ulf Herman slingshots Balls Mahoney into the barricade.
The barricade's actually broken, Nick. The force of Balls hitting it has actually broken it in half.
You know, it was broken earlier on in the evening between the Zebra Kid and Hade Vansen, but if it wasn't broken then, it most certainly is now. Ulf Herman feeding Balls Mahoney's head into the railing, and he's bringing him round to the other side of the ring.
Ulf is taking Balls everywhere around the ring so all the fans can see that Ulf certainly does not suck balls.
Well, Balls Mahoney is introducing Ulf Herman to the fans, and do you know why? Because the fans are part of this company as much as they are.
As you see the fans go crazy as the action is taken outside of the ring and into the crowd, as Balls Mahoney now is wrestling away with Ulf Herman in amongst the chairs, in amongst the fan, in amongst the action.
In amongst the action, and the action is thick and fast. And where's Balls Mahoney taking off? Tony, I can't see, they're going the wrong way. The ring's back there.
Is Balls going to the bar? Where's Balls is taking Ulf wherever he damn well pleases, Nick.
Or maybe Balls Mahoney is going for a nice big pint of shandy. That's right, shandy.
It looks like Balls is taking Ulf to the FWA merchandise stand as he bats his head off.
It looks like the FWA merchandise might be one of the biggest victims here tonight at FWA British Uprising.
You know what, Nick, you're not wrong, as every fan is standing on their seat, they're craning their necks, they're trying to see what's happening. They know something special is about to take off.
Well, there we go, Balls Mahoney with a bottle to the head of Ulf Herman. And I'll tell you one thing, I'm sure it doesn't matter where you're sitting here in Bethnal Green, you're going to see the action, because quite frankly, well, Ulf Herman is 7 foot after all. You can't miss him, Tony.
As the FWA chant rings true once again.
They seem to have disappeared. I can't see what's going on, Tony, but I'm sure whatever it is, it's aggressive and violent.
You know what, Nick, 100% guarantee. And we're back thick and fast of action now, as Ulf has stuck Balls' head through some kind of fence and he's wrenching it back. This is going to be putting tremendous pressure on the back of Balls Mahoney's neck right at the minute.
Well, Ulf Herman is working on the neck of Balls Mahoney. Is this just the long-term tactic or blind rage by the German? The wrestlers went behind some people, and when they came out, it looks like Balls Mahoney now has the advantage.
Balls Mahoney basically wrapping a fire hose around Ulf Herman and trying to strangle him. This can indeed be called a hardcore classic, Nick. We've seen everything so far, and I think we're going to see a bit more.
Well, if I can see it, yes, there they are. I see them. They're in the top left corner. No, I'm sure we'll see them shortly, Tony. And there they are. There they are, back into the camera view. And they're going to bring it back through the crowd, hopefully. carefully. It looks like, Tony, I can't see.
Balls Mahoney has just taken Ulf to the bar. Is he going to buy him a drink or is he going to smack him in the head with a chair? It could go one of two ways, Nick. Who knows?
Maybe he'll get him a drink and then smack him in the head with a chair.
You never know. It looks like the stairs where they're going to is leading up to the balcony. It could be, I'm not sure.
No,
They've just come out of the VIP area as the fans are surrounding both the wrestlers. This is what you pay your money for. You get in there and you interact with what's going on.
You see, ladies and gentlemen, if you buy a gold ringside ticket, you'll get to go to the VIP bar where two very big men are beating each other silly with chairs and glasses of beer.
The true fact is you never know what to expect at an FWA show, and this match proves it.
And Paul Mahoney looks like he might be planning on going for a home run here, Tony.
It looks like Balls Mahoney's brought himself a little friend in the form of a barbed wire bat, and it looks like he's about to use it on the near 7-footer, Ulf Herman.
And you can see Balls Mahoney is seriously considering the use of the weapon. Is he going to lurch back?
Oh! Straight to the gut with the barbed wire bat. Oh, that can't be pretty. I'm feeling his pain right now.
The abs of Ulf Herman are being turned into a pincushion. And now, Balls misses the second one. Ulf with a kick to the stomach. Ulf has the bat.
The fans were chanting one more time, but Ulf Herman had the ring smarts to see what was going on as he's grating the forehead of Balls Mahoney.
That's not good, Tony. He's ripping the flesh off the head of Balls Mahoney. What a holiday for the American import.
This is quite frankly disgusting, Nick. This isn't wrestling.
Look, it was wrestling. You saw the lockup, you saw the leg takedowns, and now Ulf Herman forgetting about the wrist lock and the headlocks. He's just going for some ultra violence. Good, wholesome family ultra violence.
It looks as though Balls Mahoney might have been bleeding a little bit beforehand, but that smack straight to the head with a bat, he's going to be bleeding a damn sight more now, you can guarantee that.
Referee Steve Linsky looks like he was going to be sick. I don't blame him. There are two men ripping each other apart with barbed wire. Ulf Herman forced.
As the blood is leaking. Oh, it's all over his fingers, it's in the ring, it's all over the forehead as Ulf Herman is quite frankly using the closed fist, whacking him in the head, trying to bust the cut open even more.
Balls Mahoney's head was forced down onto the barbed wire, and you can see the results on his face now. Tony, you know I'm a sordid sort of individual, but I can't like this. Ulf Herman is eating and biting the flesh of Balls Mahoney.
I don't think Ulf eats balls, but you're quite right, Nick. That was quite and truly disgusting. That's another man's head, it's another man's blood. But in a hardcore match like this, anything goes, and Ulf will do anything to win.
Tony, Ulf Herman just had a mouthful of balls. I'm not feeling very good right now.
You know what, Nick? I agree with you 100% as Ulf Herman is sinking in the sleeper hold right at the moment. Balls Mahoney saying you've got to do a little bit more than that, Mr. Herman, to beat the hardcore chair swinging freak.
You can tell that Ulf Herman is desperate to get the win here when he's resorting to a technical move like this. But Ulf Herman now went back to his gory route, grabs the head and slings it back down to the mat. The pinfall, 1, 2, and a kick out.
Look at the crimson all over the face of Balls Mahoney, the American. First time in the UK, I bet he's wishing it was his last.
Well, I don't know, I hear Balls Mahoney likes blood, I hear he likes pain. What's he got planned? I'm not sure, but Ulf Herman sends Balls Mahoney to the rope. A reversal, and now,
it's a standing
hold on to the ball bat.
A standing switch reversal into the drop toe hold. Ulf Herman's bleeding now. All we need is the referee to start bleeding. We'll have ourselves a blood bath.
Steve Linsky start bleeding, if only. But now, that both men are down. Who will be the first to get onto his feet? You gotta believe, Tony, that this is an important turning point in the match.
Look at the blood dripping from Ulf Herman's forehead all over the ring. It's not going to be pretty for anyone that has to wrestle in that afterwards, as Balls is trying to psych himself up. He's trying to get the crowd behind him. He's got something in mind.
And Balls Mahoney now, going for his trademark jabs. 2, 3.
The crowd wind up and give Balls the power he needs to take Ulf off his feet as he sends him into the ropes. And he goes for a spine buster. Ulf down, Balls in for the pin. A 2 count on Ulf Herman by Balls Mahoney.
With the weight of Ulf Herman, he came crashing down, and I'm quite surprised that Ulf Herman was able to kick out, as these two men are literally smeared in blood, sweat and tears, and Ulf Herman's going on top.
And actually. Balls Mahoney's going up to the top. Ulf Herman's onto his feet, and it looks like a body slam, power slam from the top rope, whatever you call it. It's not nice. There's near 7 foot on the top, down with a diving headbutt into the forehead of Balls Mahoney, where he is just leaking crimson.
The free count, maybe? No. Well, at least I had one question answered tonight, Tony. Can a 7-foot swearing German fly? Yes, he can.
He indeed can. Ulf Herman, there isn't anything Ulf can't do if he puts his mind to it, as Balls is struggling up into the corner.
Went for a big lariat, misses, double lariat, both men are down.
Both men are down, and I bet both men are happy they're both down at the moment. They're both bleeding, they're both tired, and they're both sore. What can the strategy be for either of them at the moment, Nick?
Beat the hell out of the other, I'd imagine, Tony. Beat the hell out of the other. Both men are struggling to get up, and once again, the first man to get up will know they're having that, and Ulf has the chair.
I think both men have the same idea at the same time, and they're both going for their chairs. Balls has his signature chair with the FWA Uprising logo, but Ulf's got one too.
Both men put the chairs down, but now they've picked them up, and it looks like a duel! Oh! But Balls Mahoney isn't going down, and Ulf looks a little confused. Oh, the second one didn't get it down. Balls Mahoney daring Ulf Herman to hit him a third time.
It wasn't the chair shot, Nick. It was the profanity. Look at Balls. He's down. He's in the same position.
My God, Tony! Tony! He kicked out of 2! The profanity wasn't enough!
How do you kick out of 3 chair shots and some profanity from the German Ulf Herman? Quite frankly, Balls Mahoney is something else.
Tony Giles, have you ever heard German profanity? It's bad. And now Balls Mahoney, chair shot! And I think I just saw a tooth fly out of Ulf Herman's mouth.
Ulf Herman psyching himself up. Is going to take more than that, Mr. Mahoney.
Tony, what are they doing? Are you trying to win, or is this just a game of pride for these 2 sick perverts?
I think it's more about pride. Ulf Herman psyching himself up now as the crowd rings true. Yep, indeed. One more time and the German is down.
The giant fell, but will he stay down? The fans here at Bethnal Green are applauding these 2 men's effort. They're also a little disgusted, but they are applauding.
If you can catch a look at Balls Mahoney's chair, there's an Ulf Herman face headprint in it right about now.
Lovely. I'll tell you one thing, that's going to be a lovely souvenir for someone out there. 3 face prints of Ulf Herman in an FWA chair. What a bargain.
Look at how badly dented that chair is. My God, Nick. What can be going through Ulf Herman's head apart from pieces of brain?
Well, it looks like to me that chair was badly caved in, and I think Ulf Herman must be feeling the same. But what? How many chairs could one man have?
It looks like 1 chair wasn't enough, nor was 2. It's going to take 4 chairs for what Balls Mahoney has in mind.
Can 4 chairs get the job done for Balls Mahoney here tonight in Bethnal Green? He picks up. Is he going for the Nutcracker Suite? But no, Ulf escapes, and now a reverse DDT on the chair pile. The free count maybe? Not quite.
He was going for the New Jersey Jam, but Ulf Herman reversed it into a reverse DDT. Looks like Ulf Herman might have an idea about what to do with those chairs. Now he's up and Balls is down.
Looks like Ulf's got a similar idea. He's piled 2 chairs on top of each other, and it looks like the forehead of Balls Mahoney has a deck. Oh, low blow to the German.
It looked as if Ulf was going for a pole driver, but Balls saw it and did in fact go for the low blow. Are we going to see the New Jersey Jam? And he hits it. This has surely got to be it.
Balls Mahoney spiked Ulf Herman with that move, and now surely this is a 3. No, he kicked out Tony.
You've got to be kidding me. How do you go? I'm speechless. I can't believe it.
How can anyone kick out of the New Jersey Jam, let alone a New Jersey Jam on a couple of chairs?
It's beyond words what these men are doing to each other, Nick. But I tell you what they're doing. They're entertaining the fans. They're proving they are both hardcore icons in the world of wrestling.
And now, Balls Mahoney, it looks like he's gonna fly. Tony, what's he gonna do up there? I don't like the sound of this.
He goes for the frog splash and he hits it. Balls can fly, no matter what you've been told. It's all over. He's signalling now. It's all over for the German. Balls in for the
1, 2,
count.
no! A kick out by Ulf Herman. You know what? We've seen Balls Mahoney and Ulf Herman fly, wrestle, and brawl. Is there any anything these men can't do?
I don't think there is, but he's about to set about on Ulf's front with a chair. Looks like Balls could be setting up. Is he going to go to the top rope again? Balls is smiling.
We could see a repeat of the frog splash. Balls Mahoney now, climbing to the top of the tower. Will he? No, the German's up. And he crotches the international star.
Crushed on the top rope. You know, when a man like Balls Mahoney smiles after what he's been through, Nick, it worries me. It makes me think, what's going to happen next?
Well, this is what's going to worry me more. He's going to come crashing from the top.
Crashing from the top, almost hitting the chair. It's going to take more than that, Mr. Herman, for Balls to be out.
Let's look at how high he fell. Ulf Herman's about 7 foot. The top rope is about a 3.5, I think. That's 8, 9, 10 and a half feet that he fell, Tony. 10 and a half feet to the hard ring mat. And now, looks like Ulf Herman's going to spread his wings one more time.
It also looks like Ulf's going to use some profanity before he does the move. Balls crotches Ulf using the same move he just did.
And now, Balls Mahoney, top rope chair shot.
Vicious chair shot. How in the hell is Ulf Herman still with us? If that was me, I'd be on planet number 9.
Planet number 9? I would have thought planet number 10 would be better. But now, Balls Mahoney, it looks like he's going for something.
He's brought out something from under the ring. I can't quite see what it is, Nick. It's a small sack.
A little bag of something. What's it? Oh no, it can't be. Tony, it isn't.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I am, and I was right. Thumbtacks.
He's brought out the thumbtacks. It's about to go up a level now. He's put it into height. He's just put one in his forehead.
That's charming. That's really charming. And all we know is that Ulf Herman is going to become the world's tallest, most foul-mouthed pincushion here in the world.
You're 100% right as the drawing pins are strewn across the ring. Balls has a couple in his head, but I think he wants to put a few more in Ulf's body.
Well, it looks like Ulf Herman's got... No! Ulf Herman fighting for his life. As hardcore as he is, I don't think he likes those pins one bit.
It looks like Ulf Herman's maybe setting up for a sunset flip or something from the top rope. Is he going to hit it? Is he going to hit it? He's struggling.
And Ulf Herman now with a power onto the drawing pins. He's got the cover. 1, 2, 3. He's got it, Tony.
It's all over. Balls is quite simply a pincushion right about now. The near 7-foot German Ulf Herman has done it. He's beat his US counterpart to prove that he is indeed the hardcore legend.
Ulf Herman, with a mixture of brawling, technical wrestling, high flying, and a good barrel full of swearing, has managed to defeat America's own Balls Mahoney.
That was an amazing matchup, Nick. I'm glad I had the privilege to call that. I hope I don't see anything like that anytime soon. I don't think I could handle it.
Well, hopefully, the next time I call that match, I'll have someone else to commentate with. Nikita will be strapped to my sink, and I'll have a nice holiday to look forward to. I deserve a pay rise after this one.
Nick, I think you're leaving in cloud cuckoo land. Pretty much like Balls Mahoney, I must imagine, must be at the moment. Ulf Herman walking back up the ramp. Balls Mahoney is dazed and confused and doesn't know where he is.
Tony, could it be? Up next, the phenomenal AJ Styles goes one-on-one with the UK's own Jonny Storm. Don't go away.
Balls Mahoney is still in the ring at the moment. He's got to be dazed, Nick. I mean, after what just happened, powerbomb through the drawing pins. It's referee Steve Linsky who's checking on Mr. Mahoney, finding out what's wrong as the fans start to show their appreciation.
And why not? Balls Mahoney flew over to this country and he gave every fan here in the York Hall what they wanted, a wrestling hardcore brawl.
As you can see, the fans, everyone is on their feet, everyone's giving a standing ovation. Balls gave it 100% and so did the fans. Balls Mahoney being held to his feet now by a referee. You see the drawing pins in the ring, in his boots, in his head, in his back, in his arse. They're everywhere. I'd hate to see what this man's towels look like after his shower.
Look at the number of thumbtacks on his forehead. It looks like a star constellation, Tony.
He's obviously got something stuck in his elbow. Oh, that's got to smart. That has got to smart.
Referee Steve Linsky being gentleman enough to remove a single tap.
Balls proving that he does indeed have big balls, and he shows his appreciation as the fans have for him by giving them a round of applause, a salute saying thank you. You're all welcome to join the Church of Satan along with Balls Mahoney.
Well, regardless of whether it was a win, a loss, or a draw, Bulls Mahoney looks like he had a hell of a time here tonight, here in the UK. And I'm sure the fans all enjoyed themselves as well. And I'll tell you one thing, judging from this performance, I bet you, Tony, that Bulls Mahoney will be welcome back in the Frontier Wrestling Alliance anytime now.
Just heard ring announcer Jane Child say AJ Styles about to make his way to the ring for the very first time outside of the US. AJ Styles, again a former NWA X Division champion.
A former X Division champion of the NWA TNA promotion. Very prestigious championship, Tony. One of the hottest divisions in the United States at the moment is the X Division. Also, AJ Styles happens to be a finalist of the very prestigious Super 8 tournament.
That's right, he actually lost out in the tournament finals to Donovan Morgan. A little known fact about AJ Styles, he was actually in WCW in WCW's final days. AJ Styles is definitely a fan favourite. This match should be off the chart.
Now you can hear the chants for Jonny, and no doubt his opponent will be on his way to the ring very shortly.
It's the Wonder Kid himself from Harlow in Essex, it's Jonny Storm.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, the Pop-Tart of the FWA. I'm sorry, Tony, I know he's a great wrestler, but I just don't like the guy.
It's fair enough, Nick. To their own, everyone deserves an opinion, but you're quite right. Jonny Storm is a phenomenal talent. This match should put Jonny's standing on the international scale of wrestling way up there if he can pull a victory up with Mr. AJ Styles.
More importantly for Jonny Storm, his pride is quite frankly on the line. His last match, he lost the #1 contendership to the FWA heavyweight title to Fleisch at Hot Wire. And now his momentum is going, it's going, and it could be gone unless he can beat AJ Styles. At the moment, Doug Williams, Jody, Fleisch have a great reputation in the US. Could this be the match to finally get Jonny Storm attention? We'll have to find out. But if I'm a betting man, and quite frankly, Tony, you know I am, I'd say it ain't.
Well, like I said, Nick, everyone's allowed to have their own opinion, but there's nothing Jonny Storm can't do when he gets inside the squared circle. If Jonny Storm can pull up a victory here, this will send his star sky high. As we're about to get underway now, the phenomenal AJ Styles versus the Wonder Kid Jonny Storm on their first encounter. You can hear the fans firmly behind Jonny Storm as they are AJ Styles.
Both men are now circling and they're going to get ready to lock up, Tony, for what should be the start of a fantastic match.
You can hear the appreciation from the fans for the overseas competitor.
Both men circling, looking for the lock-up.
Both men lock up, and AJ Styles goes with a waist lock. A waist lock on Jonny Storm from AJ Styles. Jonny Storm into the wrist lock. And AJ Styles, yep, AJ Styles got a wrist lock of his very own. Jonny Storm, what's he going? Reversal, Jonny Storm with a wrist lock. AJ Styles over, AJ with a wrist lock of his own. Jonny Storm rolling through, takes AJ's wrist. He's got the wrist.
Arm drag there, and it looks like AJ's now moving up the pace. Now, swinging arm drag. They managed to speed up the pace.
Leg sweep there on AJ Styles. AJ Styles with a leg sweep of his own on Jonny Storm. A roll out, a nip up.
And a standoff. Fantastic.
As you hear the FWA chant ringing true, this match has been on for less than a minute, and I can quite honestly say it's already a classic.
I remember before this event, a lot of people were hoping, they were praying for Jonny Storm versus AJ Styles, and I was as well, because I pray that AJ Styles hits the Styles clash on Jonny Storm and sends his ratings even lower.
AJ Styles sinking in some vicious blows there on Jonny Storm. Jonny Storm off the ropes, over the back of AJ Styles. AJ Styles not sure what's going on, and a leg lariat takes AJ Styles down. Quite smartly, he rolls out of the ring.
My lord, Tony, that leg lariat was so strong. AJ Styles Styles turn inside out and upside down all around and then crash bang on the ground.
I think
AJ to the outside. He's got to take the momentum away from Johnny Storm.
I think AJ Styles might have underestimated his UK counterpart. Johnny Storm is proving that he's playing for keeps.
Well, it's very unwise to... Oh, and Johnny Storm flicked back in AJ Styles. It's a very bad idea to underestimate a man who is a former All England champion here in the FWA. Oh. Drop kick to the goalies, and now AJ Styles. Nipple Hurricanrana!
AJ Styles proving that he is a true innovator of wrestling moves. The fans are showing their appreciation. Johnny Storm's on the outside, not looking too good.
Go AJ, and now, oh, he did a suicide dive fake there and flipped back in, but Johnny now on the apron, climbing to the top. AJ seen him, the question is though, oh, Hurricanrana from the top rope from Johnny Storm.
Johnny Storm from the outside in off the top rope, takes him over, takes him out with the Hurricanrana.
It's a dangerous place to be outside, and if I know Johnny Storm, the grease ball has landed!
Johnny Storm up and over, taking down AJ Styles, all of his weight crashing down on the American. AJ Styles not sure what he's in for.
Both men outside, and the 10 count will start to be issued. You've got to believe though that neither man will be settled with a draw, and I don't think any of the fans would like it either. Johnny Storm now back in the ring.
Johnny Storm trying to get the fans psyched up, but not they need to. Johnny Storm outside, AJ Styles takes him over. AJ Styles taken over with a flying head. This is from Johnny Storm, sent crashing into the guardrail. AJ Styles seems to have hit the back of his head.
Johnny Storm went for a baseball slide and AJ caught it. However, little did AJ know that Johnny Storm was then going to hurricane him on the hard wooden floor. And now, Johnny Storm has the advantage. But I wonder how wise it is to fight on the outside. Bloody hell, Tony!
He just tried to throw him into the guardrail. AJ Styles leapt it. Savant kick to the face. Johnny Storm, he's on Dream Street, Nick.
As a competitor of the American X Division, Johnny Storm is no match for AJ Styles on the outside.
Oh my!
Johnny managed to get the advantage.
Did you see that, Nick? AJ Styles tried to vault up onto the guardrail. He slipped, and Johnny Storm, being the ring veteran that he is, capitalised on a missed move there. Took AJ Styles down with a DDT. AJ Styles is not sure where he is.
Johnny with a cover, but AJ kicks out, Tony. I have to tell you though, I hope AJ so gets the win. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. Johnny Storm is a man who is all talk. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's got these nice flash moves, but he's nothing to the phenomenal AJ Styles.
You can root for whoever you want. It was a standing switch, waistlock reversal. He throws Johnny over, and AJ didn't know Johnny had landed on his feet.
AJ now, moonsault, caught, reverse DDT!
The most beautiful move I've seen in ages, Nick. A moonsault into a reverse DDT. I've not seen it anywhere else. I'm pretty sure it's one of Mr. Styles' very own. In for the count.
AJ with a cover, but it was not meant to be. Johnny kicked out of the reverse DDT from the moonsault.
I've seen
AJ in control.
I've seen many men go down to a move similar to that, and basically Johnny Storm is showing intestinal fortitude, being able to kick out. AJ Styles with a drop kick there off the ropes. Johnny Storm in a whole world of hurt.
A beautiful standing drop kick, and now a kick to the ribs of Johnny Storm. Let's hope that AJ Styles continues this tactic and continues to work on the girly facial features of the UK man known as Johnny Storm.
Oh my word! Johnny Storm thrown over the guardrail into the gold ringside seat fans. I mean, these fans are more than getting their money's worth tonight. Johnny Storm's ringside with them.
It looks like one of the boys are going to be taking over Souvenir tonight.
What's AJ Styles up to now? What's he doing? Oh, a straight suicide dive over the guardrail into Johnny Storm in amongst all the fans. This is unbelievable.
So if you want Johnny Storm to fall in your lap, you better get to the events early and get a front row ticket. Now, AJ Styles throwing him back into the confines of the ringside area.
AJ Styles is definitely in dominant control at the moment, as it looks like he's going for a pin. Johnny Storm kicks with a 2 count.
AJ just couldn't get the pinfall there. He was too close to the ropes. He had no room to spread his body weight. Johnny Storm able to get the shoulder up, no problem. If I want to get my money's worth that I gave AJ Styles, he better defeat Johnny Storm tonight.
It's going to take him a hell of a lot more than that to put away Johnny Storm tonight, as AJ goes in with a discus punch. Quite simply waffles Johnny Storm.
Nice, that was a beautiful firm face. Hopefully Johnny Storm, nose broken, face all puffy. But now Johnny Storm will wheelbarrow DDT, yes, and he hits it!
AJ Styles' head, oh my word!
And will it be? No! The 2 count, it was only a 2, Tony.
It was close, Nick. All I can say is I would hate to be Mr. Styles at the moment. His head has got to be thumping like a night on the booze.
It is showing here that AJ Styles isn't experienced with Johnny Storm as an opponent. This is the first time these two have ever met. AJ Styles, however, waistlock, turbine superplex.
That was super.
Yes,
on the phrase.
Johnny Storm hit the mat and went across it, smeared everywhere. Wonderful.
AJ Styles does look to be a little bit dazed himself. He goes for the pin. Johnny Storm manages to kick out. It's going to take more than that, Mr. Styles. If you think you can come over here to our country and fight one of our premier guys and put him away with a move like that, well, you're sadly mistaken.
Well, I'm really quite disappointed that Johnny Storm kicked out of that. He should have known better, because now AJ Styles has no option but to up the ante. AJ has set Johnny in the corner. Now AJ coming in with a flipping drop kick and then a discus clothesline.
He jumps in, drop kick off the chest, and a brutal discus clothesline. Johnny Storm was folded up. Johnny Storm is out.
The 2 count, 3 count, no! Only a 2, Tony, only a 2.
How did he kick out after the force of that lariat? I'm surprised he's still breathing, let alone kicking out.
Johnny Storm seems to have this spirit about him that'll keep on going, but hopefully AJ Styles will snuff out the candle that is Johnny. And now, off the ropes, AJ has caught Johnny.
It looks as though, is he going for it? Is he going for the Styles Clash? Is he? Johnny's fighting. Fight, Johnny. Fight, Johnny. Get to the ropes. He's got to the ropes.
However, AJ with a vicious power bomb, and if that doesn't leave a grease mark on the canvas, I don't know what will. No! Johnny kicked out. Tony, what is coming to this world when AJ Styles can't put someone away as simple as Johnny Storm?
Johnny Storm seemed to be okay. He was in the ropes. He was thinking, I'm safe now. AJ Styles just basically turns it into a power bomb and knocks him silly. He's got him in the corner now, basically just putting the boots into him. What are we going to see next?
Now, AJ Styles runs.
Oh! That's quite blatantly put his nose on the other side of his face. Look at the dazed confusion on Johnny Storm.
That was the most beautiful drop kick I've ever seen to the face. Johnny Storm, your ringside granny fans aren't going to save you now. The phenomenal AJ Styles is going to crush you like a bug.
How is Johnny Storm able to compete? I mean, what's Johnny Storm doing? Using ring smarts. He's seen what AJ Styles is up to. He knows what to do.
And now, Johnny Storm with a drop kick to the back of AJ Styles' head. Johnny Storm indeed is using his ring smarts. I mean, he has been all over the place. He's been in England, Europe, America, hell, even Amsterdam.
It's well and truly true. Johnny Storm is a well-travelled man. Johnny Storm, as much as he needs to win this match, I'm not sure it's worth him going through what he's going through. AJ Styles is a very, very clever man.
Well, it looks like Johnny got an elbow to the gut. Now for his... Oh, AJ's caught him. Could it be? Kryptonite Crunch, Tony!
AJ Styles nails the Kryptonite Crunch. Johnny Storm, his body's limp, lifeless. This is it. It's over, Nick. It's over.
Johnny Storm must have deposited a few of his lower vertebrae with that move. AJ with a cover. This guy.
Yes!
Oh!
Yes! Come on, Johnny. Prove that you can do it. If you want to be a star in the international scene, all it's going to take is to beat someone like AJ Styles. I know you can do it. The fans in your corner know you can do it. Just come on, Johnny. Come on.
Let me tell you something though, Tony. If Johnny Storm can beat AJ Styles tonight, and he won't, if he can beat AJ Styles tonight, AJ's only the tip of the iceberg. Americans have heart like Johnny does not.
Johnny Storm has more heart than you do, Nick, and that's all that matters to me. What's happening here? AJ, both Johnny on the top. It looks like he's going for... He wouldn't try it.
What this is. Hopefully... No, Johnny! Reverse Hurricanrana!
He goes for the rewind rana, and AJ Styles from one side of the ring to the other. He's out for the count. If Johnny Storm could just get up now and drape an arm over. Oh, 2 count. Surely that was it. surely it was over.
That was the heart I was talking about, Tony. AJ with the heart of an American kicked out of a potentially ending maneuver. And now Johnny Storm is waving the fist. He sends AJ to the right. AJ for the reversal. Johnny down. Johnny on the bottom. He springs over. However, AJ with a waistlock goes for a German suplex. Nails it. And now AJ Styles is going for his trademark front face slam.
Up, down, whatever you want to call it, it was just a devastating move. Johnny Storm's face has been knocked about all over the place. His pretty boy looks aren't going to be so pretty after this, Nick.
Once again, AJ Styles failed to snuff out Johnny Storm in that move, and now AJ's going up top for something a little special. Once again, high risk. Here we go.
It looks as though AJ Styles is going for the spiral tap. Oh, and Johnny Storm sees what's coming, rolls out of the way using the ring smarts instilled in him in his 8-year career. It's going to take more than this to take out Johnny Storm.
What's wrong with this picture, Tony? Johnny's up, AJ's down, and now, no, reverse hurricanrana, no.
He was going for the super rewind rana, but AJ Styles it's going for. Is it the style clash? Is it? Come on, Johnny, fight back. Yes, he gets it, nails it. Rewind rana.
1, 2, kick out.
Oh, nobody kicks out of that move, nobody.
Johnny Storm with one of the most vicious, brutal, nasty hurricanranas that I've ever seen in this business. And now AJ Styles, the poor AJ Styles is at the mercy of this sadistic British.
It looks like the tide has changed, although it's changed back rather quickly. Johnny Storm was up. AJ Styles looks to be climbing the top rope and he's taking Johnny Storm with him. Well, what's he trying to do? Is this some sort of tornado DDT?
Tornado DDT looks...
Oh! Referee Steve Linsky booted in the head. He's outside the ring. He's holding himself. What's going on? Johnny Storm's fighting back. He's fighting back. He's showing that the heart of a British man is a very big heart.
And now Johnny Storm is going up to the top. And now AJ's caught him.
Oh,
Could it
no,
be?
he's caught him.
Looks like I'm going to get my money's worth, Tony.
Could it not
top
be,
rope
please?
Styles clash.
Oh! Top rope Styles clash. Johnny Storm is limp. He's down. He's not moving.
However, the referee's down. This is a miscarriage of justice. Steve Linsky, get your worthless hide in there. Count the freak out. Where is he, Tony?
Without a doubt, this match would have all been over. Johnny Storm could have kissed goodnight to his international career. Referee Steve Linsky outside the ring. It looks as though AJ is going to try and bring him back in and prove that, you know, he won this match already. If the referee had been there, it'd be all over.
As the crowd are saying, AJ Styles killed Johnny. There is no way that Johnny can kick out now. Steve Linsky, make the freak. What is AJ doing? He's picking him up. He might regret doing this later, Tony.
It looks as though AJ's not through punishing Johnny Storm. I think he's going to try it again. Surely two of these, nobody can handle two of these. Not even someone of Johnny Storm's caliber.
Well, AJ Styles is going to hit the exclamation mark here tonight in the York Hall because he doesn't want Johnny to take his spot over in America.
He's taking him up. He's taking him up. What does it look like? He's going for a gorilla press off the second rope. My God, Johnny Storm! Oh, top rope tornado DDT!
No! 2!
Yeah! It's all over. Johnny Storm just drapes a limpless arm over him. Johnny Storm gets the dupe.
Johnny Storm has stolen, you heard me, Tony, stolen this win tonight. This should not have happened, Tony. This is disgusting. AJ Styles is a much higher caliber wrestler than a man like Johnny Storm.
Johnny Storm stole nothing tonight. We saw an amazing match from two amazing competitors. Johnny Storm will go on now and face foes all over the world and prove that the heart of an Englishman is a true heart.
Well, no doubt this will do a lot to Johnny Storm's standing, not only in the UK, but also in the United States of America. After all, AJ is the man to beat.
AJ Styles is on the outside of the apron, clutching his head. I've got to admit, that was an awesome display of power from AJ Styles. But Johnny Storm now up. The fans are showing their appreciation as Johnny Storm shows it back. Johnny Storm is so in appreciation of what the fans have given him during the match, after the match, and what they continue to give him in his career.
Personally, I'm disappointed. This wasn't the result I was looking for. However, up next, maybe I can get a bit of satisfaction. The main event, Jody Fleisch Barker, ladder match for the vacant FWA heavyweight title.
AJ Styles has climbed back in the ring. He's staring at Johnny Storm. He's their unfinished business here. He's calling him over. Are we going to see Johnny Storm, AJ Styles part 2 straight away? Is this it? What's happening now? What's AJ up to?
Come on, AJ, disrespect him.
What's he doing? Is he... AJ Styles is doing the right thing. He's showing his hand. Johnny Storm is not sure what to do. Johnny, you know it makes sense. Johnny Storm and AJ Styles, two higher caliber athletes. You don't see a show of respect like this very often, but when you do, it's always an amazing thing to see.
Oh, how sweet and tender that was. A show of sportsmanship on a wrestling show, Tony.
Wrestling is a sport, Nick, or didn't you know?
If you ask me, Tony, Johnny Storm didn't deserve this win, but up next will be the FWA title match. Please don't go away, because my favourite guy, Fleisch Barker, is going to cripple the Phoenix, Jody Fleisch.
If you want to keep up with all the latest and best FWA action on VHS, go to www.frontierwrestling.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what it's all about. For the first time in FWA history, the FWA heavyweight title will be decided in a ladder match. Coming down first is Fleisch Barker.
Fleisch Barker being led to the ring by Dinas. Now the story behind this match, Nick, is a very complicated and a twisted story at that. Dinas said on national radio that if Jody Fleisch could make it down before the last ring bell at No Surprises 4, he would give Jody Fleisch a shot at Fleisch Barker's FWA British title. Jody made the flight back from Japan and managed to beat Fleisch Barker. But upon viewing the tape, the FWA Commission realised the ring bell had actually ended, signalling the end of the show. The FWA then stripped Jody of the title, leading to this match now. The ladder match tonight will decide once and for all who is the undisputed FWA British Champion.
So Tony, what you're telling me is that Fleisch Barker was screwed out of the FWA title by Jody Fleisch and by the company that governs that championship.
Nick, the way I saw it, Jody was there, Jody did his business, and he walked out that night FWA champion, as I'm hoping tonight, and I'm praying, much like these fans are, will happen again.
To the ring now is the opponent for Fleisch Barker. This is Jody Fleisch. Jody Fleisch is a former King of England and was crowned that at British Revival. He is also obviously a former FWA champion, though that championship was in serious doubt after he won it off Fleisch Barker at No Surprises 4 at the Portsmouth Pyramid Centre.
Don't forget as well, Nick, Jody Fleisch is a former All England champion as well. As you can see the fans in the crowd now with the Jody sign, those fans have come all the way from Germany to see Jody Fleisch become once and for all the undisputed heavyweight champion.
Well, it's not surprising that fans have come as far as Germany to see Jody Fleisch tonight. In fact, Jody Fleisch has been all around the world. He's wrestled in Michinoku Pro in Japan, and not to mention the Ring of Honor company over in America.
This match truly will be a classic. It looks as though referee Andrew Coyne has a mic in his hand and is about to make some stipulations for this match.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to British Uprising main event. Tonight, the Phoenix Jody Fleisch and Fleisch Barker will compete in a ladder match for the Frontier Wrestling Alliance Heavyweight Championship.
Fleisch doesn't look very happy. As Jody gets the crowd going in the out chant. Jody doesn't really want Dean Ayers at ringside. Jody doesn't need Dean Ayers at ringside. It seems as though Fleisch would like him there. Referee Andrew Coyne admonishing a 10 count, basically saying, Dean Ayers, if you're not gone by the time I get to 10, Jody Fleisch is going to be the new heavyweight champion, and there isn't going to be a ladder match.
Once again, much like earlier tonight, when referee Andrew Coyne sent the family to the back, he has spewed forth vinegar from his mouth, which will completely alter the course of this match. Now it will be one-on-one, Fleisch Barker, Jody Fleisch, FWA title in a ladder match.
You are right, Nick, it will alter the course of this match. Dean, the Twisted Genius, or the Weasel Ayers, whatever you like to call him, he can't interfere. Jody Fleisch is out there, he's fighting Fleisch Barker one-on-one. This will be the match the fans paid to see.
And now, it'll be interesting to see how these two men started off. Fleisch Barker, Jody Fleisch, looking above at what it's all about. The FWA heavyweight title.
Both of these men have tasted championship gold before, and they'd like to taste it again.
Both men now seem to be exchanging a series of kicks and punches. Jody flips through, and now Fleisch Barker gets his leg taken down by Jody. Jody with an elbow drop. Both men up. Fleisch sweeps the leg, and both men flip up, and a standoff.
Both men eyeing each other up the opening seconds of the match. Nobody wants to give an inch, nobody wants to take an inch.
It'll be interesting to see how this match starts off. Obviously, Jody will want to go for the ladder early, going for the high, fast, high-octane, dangerous moves. Meanwhile, Fleisch Barker might want to slow it down, keep it a slow, sadistic pace. And as you can see, Fleisch Barker has the power advantage, throwing Jody Fleisch from one corner of the ring all the way to the other.
Jody Fleisch is without a doubt one of the best high flyers in the world. And Fleisch Barker isn't somebody he's used to wrestling, but he needs to up his game for this one match. Fleisch Barker treating Jody with disrespect, throwing him around the ring like a small child. He's proving his dominance in the opening minutes of this match. Jody Fleisch needs to get on top of his game to prove he has what it takes to be champion.
Fleisch Barker now going for a move that he's very well accustomed to, that being a headlock. He's keeping it tight, he's keeping the pressure tight on Jody Fleisch. He's obviously want to keep this match as slow and as mean as he can get it. But unfortunately, Fleisch Barker, like a runaway train, knocks over the Phoenix.
You just saw Fleisch Barker uttering some words there. He was talking to referee Andrew Coyne, saying, ask him what, Fleisch? It's a ladder match. The only way you can win the match is by grabbing the belt, climbing the ladder, and proving that you are the champion.
Fleisch Barker now is being run to the ropes, and once again, he just runs over Jody Fleisch.
He's just proving his physical dominance. That's all he's doing. He's saying to Jody, you're nothing to me. Who are you? I'm Fleisch Barker. I'm the former champion. I beat Doug Williams. What have you done?
When Jody won the King of England at Revival, he was able to get the match won because Doug Williams, his opponent for that contest, was able to make a mistake. But the question is, Tony, does Fleisch Barker make mistakes? He's as old school as they come, and he keeps it down and basic. And as far as I'm concerned, Jody Fleisch might not get an opportunity to get any momentum whatsoever.
Well, Fleisch Barker is definitely in the driving seat of this match at the moment. It seems to me that Jody needs to up the pace if he wants to stand a chance of beating Fleisch Barker.
Fleisch Barker now throws Jody back to the ropes. Jody Fleisch with a hip toss. No, it's blocked. However, he kicks him over. Flings the leg. Nice 360 spin. Ducks the clothesline and a chop. Not quite as hard as Fleisch Barker's, but all the same, they must be little stingers. Fleisch Barker now throws Jody to the ropes. Jody over Fleisch. Fleisch jumps Jody. Jody with a kick and Fleisch is down.
Those chops might not have been as powerful as Fleisch Barker's, but you're damn sure that kick to the chest was.
Jody now's been run to the ropes again, and Fleisch Barker, military press set up here, Tony.
Military press, and he's just holding him up there. He's like, Jody, I could hold you up there forever if I wanted to. You're nothing to me. You're half my weight. I eat you for breakfast.
Once again, Fleisch was trying to slow it down, but Jody's escaped. Fleisch tried to run, and Jody Fleisch throws him over the top rope to the outside.
It looks like Jody.
Now Jody with a suicide misses!
High-risk maneuver. Jody's just lost half of his back by the looks of things. Phil Fleisch Barker telling the fans to get out the way. He's got something in mind for Jody. What's it going to be? Oh! He's just driven him back first across the guardrail. Whatever way you look at it, Nick, that's gotta hurt.
Flash Barker just suplexed the Phoenix. Jody Fleisch onto the railing and into the crowd. Now let's see if the fans actually defend their golden hope of the new school, or whether they're going to be wise and get out of the way for the unstoppable wrecking machine that is the old school's crown jewel, Flash Barker.
The fans are confused. They're not quite sure what they're seeing at the moment. They paid to see wrestling. They didn't pay to see it right in front of them as they're sitting there watching the match. Phil Flash Barker, the disrespect he's showing to Jody Fleisch, I can't believe it. This is supposed to be a sport of champions. It's a championship match for a belt that's supposed to mean something. Flash Barker is just running roughshod over Jody Fleisch.
I completely disagree with you, Tony. You say Flash Barker isn't showing any respect to Jody Fleisch. Flash Barker's one of those guys, he shows you respect by how hard he hits you with his iron fist. And now he is squeezing the shoulder muscles of Jody. No doubt an old school nerve hold, and Jody's being slowed down and kept to the ground. This is very disappointing for Jody. No doubt Jody's ladder match stipulation will suit him down to the ground. However, Flash is keeping it old school style. He's keeping with the holds, he's keeping it to the mat, and Jody Fleisch must be desperate to find a way to quicken the pace and to introduce the ladder into tonight's main event.
I know you love the old school, Nick, and I know you love Flash Barker, but I have to say it's Jody Fleisch, not Jody Fleisch. Jody Fleisch is our champion, he will always be our champion, and hopefully tonight he will be recognised as the undisputed FWA champion.
But answer me this, Tony, before Jody Fleisch, who won? Whoa, Hurricane Rana on Flash Barker. Very nice. Both men are back up, but Fleisch just cuts off Jody. Now, Tony, I was going to ask you before I was cut off there, was before Jody Fleisch, who was the hope? Who was the hope of the new school? It was a man like Scott Parker, but Flash Barker decapitated him and took him out of the game. Before that, there was Robbie Brookside. Flash Barker defeated him too. And then before Robbie Brookside, there was a former FWA heavyweight champion, Doug Williams. Flash Barker didn't just only beat him once, he beat him twice.
It's true, Nick, Flash Barker is a dominant force. Flash Barker is not going to be somebody that will easily be beaten. But I have to have faith and I have to hope that Jody can reach deep down and bring it up and prove that he deserves to be champion. He proves that he deserves to be in this spot. Even though Flash Barker is treating him badly at the moment, it could all switch at a moment's notice. As Jody gets some offense now, what's he going for? He goes for a moonsault, he lands on his feet, goes for the clothesline, Jody ducks it over and over, and it's a Hurricane Rana from Jody Fleisch, proving that don't blink, you'll miss something.
Well, Jody Fleisch now is taking it to Flash Barker, and Flash Barker is once again out the outside, and that's a dangerous place to be if you're Flash Barker. Jody Fleisch now!
Phoenix style press, shooting star press to the outside. Nick, have you ever seen anything as beautiful as Jody Fleisch?
You can hear the fans appreciative of the FWA. Tony, you want to know if I've seen anything as beautiful as a shooting star press to the outside? I've seen the golden tear on the cheek of a small child. But back to the match. Flash Barker is down, and Jody Fleisch now has the advantage.
I've no idea what you mean, Nick. You're in a world of your own. But back to the action, thick and fast. Jody Fleisch, even though he managed to hit the shooting star press, Flash Barker seems to be up on his feet a lot quicker. Flash Barker being the bigger of the two, he maybe has more stamina. He's been in more matches like this before.
Now this is a rather surprising tactic. Flash Barker was the man who brought in the ladder. I would have thought it'd be
Crown Jewel Crunch! Flash Barker has got to be in a whole world of hurt right about now. The ladder is a weapon that Jody's used to. It's something he's familiar with. Flash, I don't think I've ever seen Flash Barker in a match like this before.
Well, this is what I was trying to bring up. Flash Barker was the man who brought in the ladder. I found this incredibly surprising. Jody Fleisch is the man who knows how to use... Oh! Baseball slide into the ladder, into the rib cage of Jody Fleisch, and now he's down. Maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe a ladder in the hands of Flash Barker is a more dangerous weapon than he could ever get his hands on.
You know, I thought this match would be suited to somebody like Jody Fleisch, but it just shows that every little bit of offense that Jody gets in, Flash Barker's got to come back for him. As he hits those vicious knife-like chops all over Jody Fleisch's chest, it's got to be beaten black and blue red.
Now Flash Barker is the man with the hardest chops in Europe. Jody off the rope though, and he tried to go for his own move. However, Flash Barker now with a ladder to the face and the chest of Jody Fleisch, and Jody spills into his own fans again. Referee Andrew Coyne trying to help Jody out of there, but meanwhile he can't see what Fleisch is doing. Fleisch is setting up the ladder between the apron and the guardrail.
Jody Fleisch was going for the same move that Flash Barker had just hit on him, but Flash Barker, being the ring general, having the ring savvy, knew what was about to happen, saw what Fleisch was up to, used it to his own benefit, and now Jody Fleisch is in the crowd and he gets a chair shot for his troubles.
If a ladder wasn't bad enough, Flash Barker has just brought in a chair to the proceedings, and now he seems to be going for another one. It looks pretty obvious what he's setting up here for, Tony. It's a platform of death, a ladder and 2 chairs, and this cannot be good for the Phoenix Jody Fleisch.
It can't be good for anybody, Nick. How would you feel being slammed onto a ladder with 2 chairs?
Wow, but Jody Fleisch is fighting back with a kick to the face, and now he's going for something, tornado DDT, but no, Fleisch caught him, and now it looks like Fleisch is going to set him up for those ladders. Jody, however, a kick to the head of Flash Barker.
Jody Fleisch, he's wrestling with Flash now. Even though he's the bigger man, Jody has the heart. Is he going to go for the suplex? Is he? Oh! Suplexed onto the ladder, onto the chairs. My God!
I don't know if you saw the face of Flash Barker, but it looked like he knew what was coming. He was superplexed from the ring to the outside, onto the ladder and the chairs. Referee Andrew Coyne checking on his well-being, but there isn't much he can do in this type of contest.
I don't care how big you are or how tough you are, that's gotta hurt. Pretty much the same as when Jody's brandishing a ladder and using it basically to run into your forehead.
Jody Fleisch used that ladder like a battering ram straight into the face of... What's Jody planning here?
Jody looks like he's got something in mind. Jody Fleisch is taking apart the guardrail.
I'm not sure what he's doing here. It looks like he's trying to get back to the outside. Security look baffled. They don't know whether to help him or whether to stop him, but there's not really much they can do. Jody Fleisch and Flash Barker, this is a no disqualification match. No one has any control over these two.
Jody Fleisch doesn't usually use weapons, he doesn't need to, but he's got the ladder, and Jody Fleisch is off somewhere. I don't know what's going on. I mean, he's setting the ladder. What could he possibly be setting the ladder up for?
Tony, I don't know, but if there's one thing I do know is ladders equal and plus balconies equals trouble for both men.
Ladders do definitely equal danger when they're in the hands of somebody like Jody Fleisch. The fans, I think they're all starting to cotton on. They know what's... Jody Fleisch is climbing to the balcony. Why would Jody Fleisch be climbing to the balcony?
I don't know, Tony. All I know is the higher Jody goes, the further he can fly.
Nick, you can see how far up he... What on earth could he be thinking? No.
Oh, wait a minute. FWA! Tony Giles, my lord!
I am virtually speechless. Listen to the crowd, listen to the fans.
FWA! Oh. The crowd reacting to what they've just seen. Tony, I can hardly believe what I've just seen. I've just seen Jody Fleisch just moonsault from the top of the balcony onto Flash Barker, and now the tide has most definitely turned. This has taken a lot out of the old school veteran Flash Barker.
You know what, Nick, I can't be entirely sure, but that looked to be about 25 foot that Jody Fleisch just effortlessly moonsaulted from. Flash Barker's down, Jody's got some weaponry, Jody's back in charge, he's back in charge and he's acting large. Jody Fleisch is definitely the man now.
We already had a ladder in the match. Flash Barker brought in a couple of chairs, and now Jody Fleisch has entered the table into the proceedings.
Somehow it looks like Flash Barker has been busted wide open. It could have been a knee pad, it could have been the foot, it could have been anything. When Jody Fleisch is flying at you from 25 feet in the air, quite literally anything can happen, and it probably will.
Jody Fleisch now just got a hammer of a punch on the back from Flash Barker, and that's enough to win the man. Jody Fleisch is lying prone on that table. Will Fleisch capitalise and use this to his advantage? No, Fleisch seems to be going back for the ladder now, Tony.
Fleisch is going for... I can't honestly see what anybody could do with a ladder after that. But all it takes is a couple of blows from Flash Barker for Jody Fleisch to be down and out. Fleisch Barker's twice the size of Jody Fleisch. Jody Fleisch only 21 years of age and not as experienced as Fleisch Barker. This is where the experience and the know-how of being in the old school is paying off for Fleisch Barker.
It looks like Fleisch Barker is going to dive off the top of the ladder through Jody and through the table, but Jody's off the table and I don't think Fleisch realises this. Jody now is climbing to the top of the ladder.
Both men jockeying for position on the top of the ladder. I don't know what they're going for, but this can only be impending doom for one of them.
Jody Fleisch top of the ladder, and now sunset powerbomb
from the top of the ladder. Oh, Jody! If Jody Fleisch can just get to his feet and set that ladder up, we could be looking at the new champion right here, right now. But at the moment, both men are down and they're not moving very quickly.
If Jody Fleisch was able to cover Fleisch Barker, it would have been a free count. Except, Tony, there are no free counts. There is only one way to claim the FWA title here tonight at York Hall, and that's to put your dead cold fingers around its medal. Fleisch Barker with a driver.
Sit down Michinoku driver for Jody Fleisch. That's what you get for your troubles, Jody. You start to mess with the old school, that's what you get. Fleisch Barker taking the ladder now. Is he going to be setting it up? Well, he's not going for the belt. The only thing I can think of, Nick, is Fleisch Barker isn't through inflicting the punishment on Jody Fleisch.
Both men, the adrenaline pumping through their veins, pumping through their arteries. They're so determined to add damage to one another. They're seemingly forgetting about the title. Jody Fleisch just dropped toehold Fleisch into the ladder. He's now climbing the ladder. Moonsault!
Oh, moonsault climbing the ladder. Literally walking up it like a set of stairs, moonsaulting back off from the standing switch after Fleisch Barker made the first error.
Very reminiscent of Jody Fleisch's trademark wall unit. Jody Fleisch now into the corner. No, back into the ladder. Switches Fleisch and Fleisch into the ladder and to the outside.
Spilling over into the outside, flying off the ladder. Fleisch seems to maybe have hurt his wrist. I see he's actually wearing extra wrist protection there. I thought it was so he could inflict some more punishment on Jody, but it looks like he may have an injury there. I'm not entirely sure. Jody Fleisch seems to be in control at the moment, but as I say that, it all switches around again, and Fleisch Barker proves that he's number one at the moment.
Tony, I can answer that question for you. Why is it that the wrist tape of Fleisch Barker is heavily done? It's because Fleisch Barker has been practicing, pounding away with forearm shots on any unsuspecting victim that he can find, and he's had to rug them up because they're swelling and sore. And now Jody Fleisch is going to be the victim of the fruit of his labours.
Jody Fleisch slowly weights his mate back over the guardrail and tries to make it back into the ring. The only way this match can be won is if one of these guys is in the centre of that ring. Oh, vicious chair shot. Jody Fleisch proving anything you can do with the weapon, I can do better.
Fleisch Barker was trying to climb to the heavens, and Jody Fleisch managed to cut him off with a taste of cold steel. Jody Fleisch now is climbing the top rope, and whenever he's climbing the top rope, it's always going to be aerial.
It's going to be aerial. Oh! Fleisch Barker using the ladder as a weapon. What's he setting Jody up for now?
Not sure this is going to look googly.
Oh! A German suplex from the top of the ladder. Oh my God!
Earlier in the evening, we saw AJ Styles do something very similar to Johnny Storm, but Fleisch Barker, a much bigger, stronger man, threw Jody Fleisch from an even higher height on the top of the ladder.
From the top of the ladder, nothing could be nice, but a German suplex. If this was a normal match, it would be all over right here. 1, 2, 3, we'd have a new champion, but it's not, Nick. It's a ladder match, and while there's still some life left in Jody's body, there's still some fight left in Jody's body.
Fleisch Barker seems to be picking the limp, dead body of Jody Fleisch, and he's climbing up the ladder with him. I fear to think what would happen to Jody. Jody, however, managed to punch him in the midsection and get away with it. Jody on the apron, springboarded.
Oh, caught into a powerbomb. Jody's just basically been folded up like an accordion. It's horrible to see. Jody Fleisch is a friend of mine, and I hate seeing things like this happen to him in the ring. I know the title means a lot to you, Jody, but is it really worth it?
Well, Fleisch Barker is a friend of mine, and it gives me great pleasure to see him rightfully claim what will be his, and that is the FWA Heavyweight title. I know that a title win on Fleisch Barker's behalf would inspire a whole generation of young people to accomplish other great things.
You know what, Nick? I think you're wrong. I can't say for sure, but I think you're wrong. I think the fans in the York Hall this evening are firmly behind the Phoenix. The Phoenix is a hometown boy from East London. He's been training hard for many, many years. It's about time Jody got what he deserved. He's been the champion. He can be the champion.
Let's face it, Jody Fleisch is nothing more than a trick midget. Hell, he was trained by a circus, for God's sake, Tony. I think most people deep down want their title to be held by the cold, ruthless heart of an old schooler.
You know what, Nick? You mentioned the circus there. From the age of 6 years old, Jody Fleisch was trained in circus arts. And as such a performer, Jody Fleisch has always been a performer at a young age. At a young age, Jody Fleisch was picked out personally by Princess Diana herself as being her favourite performer.
Oh, Tony, it really brought a tear to my eye, Tony. But quite frankly, this is not the time and the place for entertainment. This is a wrestling match. Basically, Flash Barker is about to powerbomb Jody Fleisch on a couple of chairs.
Not nice, Nick. It's just damaging the back more and more. The point I was trying to make is, from 6 years old, Jody Fleisch has been a performer. At the age of 21 now, he's still a performer. The kid has a whole world. The whole world is open to Jody Fleisch. Wherever he goes from here on, the whole world is his oyster. Whether he's the FWA British champion or not, Jody Fleisch is giving it his all, and these fans appreciate it.
Well, Jody Fleisch is going to be a great performer when they're using him for the miracle of science. And now, Flash Barker's climbing up the top. The referee just got booted in the face.
This isn't something you see from Flash Barker, him going to the top rope. Oh, suicide dive!
If you ask me, Jody Fleisch has just died. I just think I saw his kidney fly out of his mouth and fly across the arena.
When you see a man of Flash Barker's size go to the top rope, it spells trouble for anyone else in the area. But then being dived upon while being on a ladder on top of two chairs, it can only inflict more punishment tenfold. Jody Fleisch, I'd hate Jody, my prayers are with you. I hope you pull through it. Jody, this one's do it for us.
Ah, Tony, you're beginning to make me feel just a little bit sick now. Flash Barker throwing Jody Fleisch back into the ring, and you think Jody can fly. I just saw Flash Barker jump from the top rope onto a ladder where Jody was.
It looks as though Flash Barker wants he signaled someone down the ring. It's Monkey Boy. What's Monkey Boy doing back in the ring, Nick?
Well, for a monkey boy, he kicks like a mule. I don't think you should call him a monkey boy, Tony Giles. If you ask me, he can beat you and he can beat your family. You know exactly what I'm talking about. He's a professional wrestler, just like Flash Barker and just like the other members of the old school.
He may be able to beat me, but let me ask you this, Nick. Have you ever spanked the monkey? Mark Sloan is being blatantly... He's got something in his... Are those handcuffs? Is Mark Sloan brandishing handcuffs?
With the referee down, Mark Sloan has now been able to come to ringside and handcuff Jody Fleisch.
He's handcuffed Jody Fleisch to the ropes. Oh, Flash Barker goes with a chair shot. Jody Fleisch manages to boot him in the head using the chair, and it looks as though the force of the chair shot, Phil Flash Barker has backfired his plans. The chair shot actually broke the handcuffs. Jody Fleisch is now a free man. Monkey Boy's back and realising there's damage to be done.
No member of the old school knows going, whoa, who's this? No.
I could hear the fans chant, what could it possibly...
Oh, Tony, what is he doing here? This is a one-on-one match. He has no right. Kicks in mid-shake, and Alex Shane setting up for the one-night stand.
The show stealer hitting the one-night stand earlier on in the evening. The show stealer was attacked by the old school. He's getting a little matter of revenge now, and he's basically showing his respect to Jody Fleisch.
Jody Fleisch and Flash Barker having this tremendous match, and Alex Shane came down and ruined it.
A couple more digs for Monkey Boy Mark Sloan as Alex Shane escorts him away from the ring, as rightly should be. This is a one-on-one match. Only one man can win this belt, Nick, not two. As Flash Barker brings another ladder, I can't think what Flash is up to. There are now two ladders in the ring, and a table outside, and a few chairs, and some handcuffs. This has been one of the most amazing matches I've ever seen.
Well, it's supposed to be a ladder match, ladder, singular, but now there are two ladders in the ring, and if you ask me, we're about to see the debut of a Jody Fleisch sandwich. Steel ladder, Jody, steel ladder.
I pray and hope to God that we don't see that kind of move. Phil Fleisch Barker is now climbing up one of the ladders. It looks like Phil's got something on his mind. It looks like he could possibly be going for the belt. But Jody Fleisch, proving there's still some life left in him, is also climbing the ladder. They're both climbing the ladder. They're both jockeying for position.
I don't think they're going for the belt. They're too far on one side. However, they're both... Oh, what's this? Could it be? Fleisch Barker's on! Flash in a pan!
Flash in a pan from the middle of the ladder. Now, flash in the pan is one of the most devastating moves there are. But you add a ladder to the mix, and it just times it by 10 at least. Jody Fleisch is limp at the moment, and Fleisch Barker sees the opportunity, and it looks like he's going for it.
This is an example of how the Frontier Wrestling Alliance have screwed around with the old school too long. If pinfalls were being allowed, Fleisch Barker would have won this match 10 times already. And now, it doesn't matter, because he's climbing the ladder, and he's going to claim the FWA title for himself.
That may be true, Nick, but Jody Fleisch is also climbing the ladder, as they're both up. They're both about the same position. They're trading blows.
I want to trade blows with Fleisch Barker. Jody managed to stop the ladder falling over. Now,
he pushes Fleisch
Barker
through the table, flashes through the table. Jody's still on the ladder. Come on, Jody, you can do it. Come on, Jody, we're all behind you. Come on, Jody, you can do it. Just reach for the title, Jody. Reach for the title. You can do it.
No!
Yes! Yes! New FWA undisputed champion, the Phoenix, Jody Fleisch.
Oh, how typical! The referee just woke up and called the match. Jody Fleisch is the new FWA title holder. Oh, I hope you're happy, Tony. Hope you're happy. A great wrestler in Fleisch Barker was just screwed again by out of the FWA championship.
You know what, Nick? I've got a grin from ear to ear. I am happy. Just like Jody Fleisch must be at the moment. Undisputed FWA champion at the age of 21 years old. Everybody from the FWA locker room is coming out to congratulate Jody Fleisch. All of the stars of the FWA are amazed at Jody's efforts. What he went through tonight to win that belt, we have not seen the likes of in a long, long time.
Oh, this shows just what the locker room of the FWA are like. They're coming out now and congratulating him. But I bet you one thing, Tony. I bet you this one thing. Each man in that ring at the moment is eyeing Jody Fleisch hungrily, eyeing his championship.
As Jody Fleisch looks a little bit wobbly there, he looks a little bit wary. He's had the living hell beaten out of him for the last 35 minutes. But Jody Fleisch proudly stands atop the ladder in the middle of York Hall, Bethnal Green, with his FWA British Championship.
What a day it's been. Jody Fleisch is now the title holder of the Frontier Wrestling Alliance Heavyweight Championship. My congratulations go out to both men. However, this has not got to be the last for the old school.
Nick, whatever you say, this has been an amazing contest. You can't deny it, I can't deny it. Both men were amazing as the crowd give them a standing ovation now, proving that what they've come to see and what they've paid for is wrestling.
Fleisch Barker now retreating, defeated.
Jody Fleisch is the new FWA champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, in front of over 1,000 people here in the York Hall in Bethnal Green, these men have spilt their blood, their sweat and their tears for your entertainment.
That might be true, Nick, but Jody Fleisch, the Phoenix, is the new FWA Heavyweight Champion. As Alex Shane pointing to the crowd, he knows what he hears the stuff that pumps him up.
The chants of FWA are ringing through York Hall tonight, Tony.
How apt is it, Nick, that Jody Fleisch, an East London born and bred boy, wins his undisputed title in front of his very own people?
Well, I'm sure it's a great feeling for him, Tony, but he ought to watch his back, because now that he is the figurehead of the FWA, he's now a marked man. Each man in that ring wants one thing, and that's the heavyweight title.
From here on in, this has been British Uprising. This has been the uprising of wrestling in this country. From here on out, Nick, it can only get better and better.
And without a doubt, tonight has only been the peak of the biggest iceberg of all.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've been your host, Tony Giles, alongside none other than Nick London, and this has been British Uprising.
Thank you and good night.